awesome.
Hey, it is 6 o'clock here in the region. Chuck Poe and Bob Starkey with you on a Monday morning. I know why you're here. You want to hear about the traffic. Well, I've got good news for you, friend. There's not a lot of traffic this morning. Things are looking surprisingly light. The weather is good. Not a whole lot going on the roads here in the region. 8094, 65, Skyway Toll Road, everything looking good. Over on the Illinois side, things are looking equally as fantastic. You've got just a slight bit of building traffic on the Bishop Ford to the Dan Ryan and the Dan Ryan to downtown. Other than that, things are looking beautiful. How is the weather, Lynette?
Good morning, everyone. Today we're at 38 degrees with highs of 53 and lows of 45. We'll be having some sun and then it will be turning cloudy. And later tonight we'll be having periods of rain. And then tomorrow and Tuesday we'll be having highs of 53 and lows of 33 with a touch of morning rain, otherwise low clouds. And then Wednesday we'll be having highs of 38 and lows of 24 with cloudy and windy and colder.
Thank you so much. Your shirt makes me feel old.
What does it say?
Lightning McQueen?
She's wearing her Lightning McQueen shirt.
Why does that make you feel old?
Because I remember, like, you know, when that movie first came out.
Back in my day.
No, I'm saying, think about, she's wearing that shirt like retro because she saw it when she was a kid. And then, like my kids are now old enough to be wearing Lightning McQueen shirt. Like adults are wearing Lightning McQueen shirts. That's how old we are.
I do not feel old at all. I love Disney. In fact, Chuck.
He's got a Disney. Of course you get.
I am leaving on Thanksgiving Day to go spend some time with the mouse. I love my Disney. You're not going to convince me otherwise. You and your hatred of all things joyful and happy.
Those of you that have been around for a while
know that Chuck dislikes everything.
Everything expensive. Trains, mice, Washington, you name it. But no, that's how the first time I really felt old is one of those days that I was shopping at Strax and I started hearing like my jams playing. And I'm like, man, Strax is playing the hits today. It's like, oh, wait, that means I'm old and they're playing songs for me.
Now, speaking of, Lightning McQueen and, okay, that's all. Do you know we are just 2 days past the 30-year anniversary release of the first Toy Story? Toy Story 1 came out on November 22nd, 1995. My sister was 5 years old when that came out. She's been teaching middle school for like a decade and a half now. I love your face in there. She's like, "Oh my gosh, this has turned into the old man morning."
Is that what we're gonna do today?
The traffic.
Go ahead. You guys talk about Disney. I'll go.
I wasn't born when Toy Story was out, so.
See, that's even worse, man. She's wearing.
No. Now we're gonna figure out which Toy Story was out when you were born.
Probably 4 or 5 at this point.
I don't even want to know.
How many are there? Like 8 of them now?
There's 4.
There's a new one coming out.
There's a new one. It'll be 8, 6,
5.
Toy Story 666.
That's awful.
That is.
Okay, everybody, you didn't tune in your radio.
No, I think they did. I think they did. No, I think they did.
Fine.
I think they are working hard this morning.
All Disney calls all day long. But you know what I don't want to hear? This is one thing I hear from here's
my deal.
Focus, Chuck.
When you come back, I want receipts. I want you to get receipts like you're writing this off. I want receipts.
Is this a write-off?
So no, it's not a write-off.
This is a write-off.
Receipts. I want to see how much the Disney Princess breakfast
You just
is.
write it off.
Right.
The government pays for it.
Well, you say, listen, you're
an
influencer now. You say this is a.
Oh my God!
Is Becca listening? She's like, no,
I
don't
hope
do
Becca
it.
do not. I hope she's not listening.
So
yet.
you can start. Yeah, you can say I'm an influencer, just like all the influencers that went to Washington this week. This weekend.
They're called congressmen.
Well, the other ones, the ones protesting the congressman, which is something we'll get into later. There's so much going on there with MTG and Doge has gone away. There's so much to talk about. We'll get into all that later. And obviously when I take your phone calls, 219-845-1100 here, what's on your mind. But yeah, no, Bob, I think you're an influencer now. I think you can go there. I think you write it off. As long as you come here and talk about it, you could say, well, I was working on show content. I think that's how it works.
I bet you any money you were not even around for Toy Story 2, which came out on November 24th, 1999.
No.
Man.
Okay.
Well,
I'm old. I think we're well seasoned. Okay, what? Can I take some calls? Or what do you want to do?
No, not yet. I have one more thing to say, because inevitably I'm going to put on my Captain Republican hat here for a second. The amount of folks that I get, when I'm attending Republicans, I'm a huge Disney fan, love Disney. It's magical. Mm-hmm. My son thinks it's magical. Even if he wasn't there, I would enjoy it. They say, why would you go to Disney? They're a liberal corporation. Mm-hmm. They're evil. I have fun. Their movies are fun. The old ones, some of the new preachy ones I just don't watch. But Disney World is fun. How can you not have fun walking up? Well, right. You can not.
Because I'm the one paying for it is how I cannot have fun.
You're not paying for it.
It just pays for itself. Everything's free. Everyone deserves Disney, right?
So my point was I don't want to hear anybody say, oh, Disney's bad, don't go to the parks. It's fun. My kid loves it. I love it. And it's magical.
Good.
So
Good for you.
Freedom of vacation. That's in the Constitution. Next to separation of church and state.
Hey, I will be in New Jersey, which is just as equally fun as going to Disney.
There are mice in New Jersey.
Yeah, there are so many. I'm going to go to New York, and there's lots of mice. There's many mice there.
Can I tell a New Jersey joke?
Probably.
So this is awful. This is awful.
Okay.
Your wife isn't listening because that's where
we'll find out.
Okay, so the only New Jersey joke that I have is, what's the difference between trash and ladies from New Jersey? Trash gets picked up. I got an eye roll and a head nod over there. Chuck is trying not to laugh because he knows it's couch time.
Yeah.
That's the only New Jersey joke I have. Callers, you are welcome to call in with your New Jersey jokes. And ladies from New Jersey, send your letters to CBS.
I've heard much worse. So, okay, why don't we start the day with some calls? Hopefully some people from New Jersey calling in. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Well, I went to New Jersey for training. I
Yeah.
can tell you.
Oh, that's right. You
what-
did. You were in northern New Jersey. I remember that.
Yeah, I can tell you what I think of New Jersey,
Yeah, me too. But
but I can't cuss on your radio.
it's a trip, though, man. It's definitely. This is the thing. Here's the thing, Bob. A lot of people take vacations to places they like. They go to Disney World. They go to the beach. And here's the thing. When you go on vacation, then you don't want to go home. When I go to New Jersey, I am begging to go home. I'm like, can we leave early? Like, do we have to stay the whole week? So, like, that's where you got to go to places you don't like because then you'll appreciate your home that much more. So go ahead, Trucker Mike. How are you this morning?
Yeah, that when we were up in New Jersey, they had to rent a car from the airport.
Oh, did you have to go to Newark?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, New York.
Newark
Yeah.
or LaGuardia?
Yeah. Yeah, New York, Newark or whatever.
Newark,
It was
yeah.
in New Jersey. Yeah. But anyhow, we got a nice hotel, but they had to rent a car. We had to come downstairs, get the car, all that garbage. But I told myself, I'm not touching the steering wheel all week or 2 weeks we were in there. But, oh, shoot. Yeah, I thought Chicago, Illinois people drive crazy.
Oh, man.
I'm
And you
trying not
didn't
to be
even,
a
Mike,
bad-
did you go over the bridge into New York? You thought New Jersey was bad. Like, man, wait till you get, I did one rush hour in New York just because I planned horribly. Like, man, yeah, no, I was like, I miss Chicago drivers.
They always say, why does the chicken want to cross the other side of the road,
To get
I
away
like-
from New York?
I'm like, why am I not a chicken? Because I'm not going to cross the road in New Jersey. You'll get slammed. It's different. That's enough about Jersey. We're close enough New Jersey. But I was watching the news, and it was on the news, a person that owns a business in Chicago.
Mhm.
Okay, there's 31 days in a month, or 30 days, or sometimes 28. He says in his neighborhood, his businesses, every business has been broken into in 20 days of a month. He says what he's doing now, he's going to build a little studio apartment inside his business, and he says he's going to start staying there, and he's going to put sensors, and if somebody starts coming in, he's going to wait till they get inside, then he's going to shoot them and kill them.
No, here's the problem, though. Here's the problem. Guess who will go to jail? Guess who will go to
Oh,
jail
yeah,
for defending their
he
property?
will.
And that's the inherent problem. I mean, even going back to about New York, you talk about who was that Daniel Penny, the guy who basically saved people's lives on the train, and he was the one that was charged. We are creating a society where the responsible homeowner, the business owner that wants to protect your property, you are the bad guy. And just like this story out of Chicago the other day, the guy who set the young woman on fire on the train had been arrested, 50 times. And they said, "Oh no, he's fine. We don't need to incarcerate this clearly dangerous man. Let him stay out in the world until he sets somebody on fire. He's the good guy." And then the person that's going to work this morning and trying to, put food on the table the legal way, the right way, you're the bad one. And that's why I can't wait till the day I don't have to go to a place like Chicago anymore. Because again, it's like the good people are the bad ones in a place like that. And it drives me nuts.
Like you was just saying about that guy that set that lady on fire. Now, he had all of these charges, and he still got some pending, okay? And they knew he was a problem. Well, like that movie Problem Child, okay? He was a problem to society, okay? Basically, it comes down to, guess what? Our judges and juries, the courts, they're the ones to blame. That the courts, that court that let that guy out, that family or them people should go after that court system for letting a troublemaker out.
Well, here I got to apologize. It wasn't 50 arrests; it was 72 arrests. So again, at what point do we say this is not how this is going to work? But this is where I always say, look, elections have consequences. And if you're going to put people behind the bench, if you're going to elect a prosecutor that lets these things happen, don't be surprised when they happen to your family. And that's the unfortunate part is, again, we have all, like you said, 72 arrests of what? Probably breaking into people's cars, people breaking into people's, stores, houses, whatever. So 72 people who were affected by his crimes, none of them got justice, right? None of them got justice for the crimes that he committed.
And just like Friday, the Chicago Theater had a shooting there, and then now on the news this morning, a concert in Aurora, shooting, people killed. Do you think I want to go cross the Illinois line? I mean, one time the campground wanted me to get some from Gordon's Foods. They didn't have it at the one on Highland on Indianapolis, but they had it on Torrance. I said, I'm not going there. I'm not going into Illinois because I have life insurance, but it doesn't do me any good if I'm dead. I get shot, But
well,
no,
and that's a good point. I mean, for those of you, I'm sure you saw it, is that just hours after the Mag Mile Parade and the tree lighting ceremony and all that stuff, 9 people were shot, 1 fatally downtown Chicago. You had 4 people shot in Concord, North Carolina in the middle of their Christmas festivities. So it's just one of those things where, people make jokes on Facebook about, being afraid of going into the big cities and stuff like that. Well, yeah, I'm sorry. When 9 people are shot downtown, it makes me question whether I want to bring my children downtown for your Christmas festivities. Call me, stodgy and afraid, conservative from the suburbs. But, when 9 people are shot, it's cause for alarm.
I'd rather go to places in Gary, Indiana, because I think I'd be more safer in Gary.
We are. I mean, Bob and I go to the Railcats all the time. I never once I take my kids all the time.
Never once have I questioned
worry
going
about
up there.
it, right? I mean, again, that's the sad part is Gary gets this bad reputation. I have no problem taking my kids to the Railcats game. We have a great time. You know what I mean? Like that. That's it's unfortunate. It has that reputation. I tell people all the time, go there, no problem.
Yeah, I drive through Gary back and forth a lot. And do I feel scared or afraid to go through Gary? No.
Right.
I mean, things can happen anywhere, but the thing is between Chicago and Gary, I'd pick going to Gary instead of Chicago.
Well, and that's, that's the unfortunate reality is even today I'll be downtown and I look around and I go, look, this is a nice place. There's not lots of nice things to do. It's decorated. There's lots here, but do I feel safe bringing my family here? Right? I mean, that's the big question. Is even like when my wife buys tickets to go to a show or something downtown, I'm like, do you really want to go? The show's gonna let out at midnight, and sure enough, like the last time I took her to a show, there's a flash mob down the street as we were leaving. Right? So it's like, you decide, is that something that you want to do? I don't know that I want to take that risk with my family anymore. I'd rather just live in the boring suburbs.
And
where
if
you don't get stabbed in the neck.
Feasibly, yeah.
You listen, all of the other region of our cities around here, I have I feel safe around this area.
Right.
Because, because basically our law enforcement right away, all of our cities in the region, in this area, first thing you say, you do the crime, you're going to jail, and you're not getting out unless you post a bond.
Look, and I know you're going to get prosecuted. I know one of the prosecutors. She's tough. She will make sure she comes home and says, I got another one. So you shouldn't be so happy about that. But
because then they probably then the ones from Illinois that came over here and got caught and then get out and go back to Illinois, they're going to think about coming back here because they got all the plate readers and they got an eye on them.
Well, even so, you guys have all the plate readers you want, but I saw that story over the weekend. The white BMW doing 150 down the Borman. There's not a whole lot you can do about that other than send up the helicopter. So.
Right. Hey, I'm going to let you go.
Yeah, we got to go. So I appreciate the call. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, everybody out there have a wonderful, safe, good day, and after Wednesday, start dressing a little warmer.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
So we're going to take a break and maybe be on the radio someday, which was kind of my intention when I came here this morning, was to be on the radio. But I mean, either way, I could just sit here and chat with Bob all day and
We could do that. We could do that. But if we aren't, maybe we could just have cooler music and say other things.
No, I think we're on YouTube. So
we're on the YouTube.
We're on the YouTube, but
YouTube.
I don't know. We'll see. So we'll take a break and we'll find out. Maybe we'll be on the radio here soon. So we'll be back with more after this. No, that's copyrighted. You can't do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about my rendition of La Cucaracha?
Yeah, no, you can't do that either anymore.
Truck drivers, don't miss out on the unmatched consistency of a Schneider driving job. At Schneider, you can find a driving position that fits your lifestyle and goals, all while getting the pay you deserve. Plus, Schneider drivers operate state-of-the-art, well-maintained equipment and have access to award-winning benefits and a 24/7 support team. Explore Schneider's huge selection of driving jobs today and find your perfect fit at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana wants to make you a winner every Friday in October with our $500K Double Down giveaway. Earn entries each week to boost your chance of winning a guaranteed $50,000. Then you can choose to walk away or risk half for a shot at $100,000 in cash. Do you dare to double down? Only at Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana, just off Exit 6, I-8094. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Life's biggest challenges don't come with a warning. When legal issues arise, whether it's a car accident, personal injury, criminal charge, or representing you before municipal boards, you need a trusted advocate on your side. At Westland & Bennett, we listen first because your story matters. We provide strategic, personalized legal solutions to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Peace of mind starts with a conversation. Call 219-440-7550 today for a free consultation.
Tech Credit Union supports the essential role of union labor in building strong communities. That's why we offer hassle-free banking, financial empowerment, and a commitment to your success. Save for the future, handle life's challenges, and trust a partner that stands by hardworking union members. Tech Credit Union, the better option for you and your money. Visit techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union, supporting union families every step of the way.
But it's time. You gotta catch up with me.
Yeah. I'll catch up with you. I'll be right back.
I'll see you in a minute.
Anything else? Yeah.
Well, what's up, boy? Hey, Ryan. Not tonight, man. Not tonight. Oh, yeah. You guys are right. Hey, come on. Let's go. Come in.
.622 in the region. If you've been listening to dead air for the last 20 minutes, what's wrong with you? Why didn't you text us or call us? We apparently are on the radio, which is cool because that's kind of was why we do this, is to be on the radio. So that's fun. I don't even know. We're on the radio, right? I mean, that's okay.
Breaker 19er.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, we'll bust out the CB at this point. I'll just put an antenna out the window, and we'll broadcast on Channel 9 on the CB.
Now I'm just thinking of whatever your call sign would be.
Oh, I can't say it on the radio? No, I have a couple. Do we have calls?
Oh, we do. We have a full.
We have a full
line.
boat.
A full boat.
Of people calling us to say you're not on the radio.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay, good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Rod, did you enjoy the air show yesterday, our private little air show?
They came down by my house, too. I saw them.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they were down, I think they were basically coming down to about Crete. Was about, basically down that way. So, yeah, I kept hearing them, and I kept trying to get a picture of them. I was actually doing my Christmas lights, and I made that joke. I went on Paul Goddard's page, and I was like, hey, I'm going to be in here before anybody else says, hey, Paul Goddard, why are there fighter jets? As it turns out, I mean, he claims he's in one. I didn't see any cool pictures of him, so I'm waiting to see the cool pictures before I say for sure that Paul was part of that flyover. But good for him that he got to fly in that.
Yeah, no, I got some great videos off my back porch yesterday. It was pretty fun.
So what were those? Those were F-18s, right? It was like 4 F-18s?
Yeah, and they were just doing their little circle over Dyer and St. John, waiting for the
just waiting for the
flyover.
Well, and I'm pretty sure it's basically like, hey, can you guys get out of Midway and O'Hare's airspace? Why don't you guys go hang out in Crete and Dyer for a little while, stay out of the way?
Yeah,
and then once you're ready, because they were definitely just doing kind of a circle pattern around that area, and I was like, okay, they're waiting to get cleared. And they're just going to scream up the Bishop Ford and do a flyover. So, but again, is it expensive? Does it use a lot of gas? Yeah, but cool. It's nice. It's nice that we do those things.
Now Chuck's okay with it.
No, I'm saying, no. Am I paying for it? Yeah. I still remember one of those first air shows in Gary. It must have been like 15 years ago or something. I remember my son was like an infant, and one of the B-2 bombers came over the beach. Like did a little. I'm like, why do we even? You don't even really need to put bombs in those things. Just fly over the enemy with a B-2 and go. Look what we can. Like this thing could destroy your entire country in one pass. Like just give up. Like you fly a B-2 over somebody, and they're like, you know what? Okay, I'm good. I get it.
Yeah. But when they made their last pass by, it was like 11:55, and I stepped into the sliding glass door, and the TV's right there, and I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna watch it on TV, and they didn't even stinking televise the national anthem on the TV. It was like, are you serious?
Seriously? I mean, it seems like I don't watch a whole lot of sports, but it seems like they always air that, so it's surprising they didn't.
Yeah, no, they didn't even air it. I'm like, that's stupid.
I've heard that a few times recently that they haven't aired.
It's like when I tune into the 500. I only tune in for the pregame show and the flyovers and the helicopters at the NASCAR race. Then I'll come back and check in 3 hours later. It's like you're not going to show that, man. For a bunch of us, like that's half the fun right there. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Chuck posting on the page about hey, I'm going to nip this early. These are the
No, and by the way, sir, I apologize. 3 seconds after I posted that, a dude messaged me. He's like, "Well, no, really, what's going on?"
Oh.
I'm like, "Yeah, it's a fly." Oh, did we lose him? I think we lost him.
We lost him. No, I was just going to say, occasionally we will get those fighter jets over the air, and someone had posted that in one of the region, one of the Tri-Town message boards. I may have shared this story before. And I just thought I was going to be smart, and I should say, wait until you see St. John mobilize their Panzer division. And I got booted from the community group.
I think you should write a law that says I can't be booted from the Dyer page.
I really think it was. You know what? I think it was because there's several Dyer pages.
I mean, they can't be as bad as the Munster pages that I've been booted out of all of those. But
Cherville gets spicy, but not Cherville. St. John has like 7 of
Munsters. Yeah, everybody has a whole bunch.
Every day on Munsters, they're advertising for a new Munster one.
Right.
So I don't.
But no,
I
mean,
they all have 6 people.
There ought to be a law. Like you can't ban the admin. You can't ban the council president. Like I get to say I will put out a press release making my jokes if you guys will not publish that.
I thought it was hilarious.
Right.
But
I mean that's honestly, I don't know if Paul's listening this morning. He usually is. I told Paul when he first started. I made Paul, by the way. It was all my idea. I'm taking full credit for that. But I met Paul back when he was doing tornado stuff, and he was dipping his toe into news. I said, Paul, news is really easy. People will ask you, why were there fire trucks? Why were there helicopters over my house? And if you could answer them, why are there helicopters over my house? You'll be the biggest news source in the region, and now he is, because that's all he does. Is people message him and go, Paul, why are there fire trucks? Paul, why are there helicopters? Why are there fighter jets? He answers them. and everybody trusts him for the news. So good on him for listening to me. He's one of the few people that did. We got more calls. Let's take some calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
What kind of airplanes were overflying?
I think it was F-18s. F-A-18s. So
that's the correct designation.
F-A-18. Yeah. So it's
F
F-A-18s.
stands for fighter, and A stands for attack.
Flying the missing man formation over Soldier Field.
Over Soldier Field?
Yeah, at 12 noon yesterday. But I think they were based out of Gary, which is a good place. I mean, it's a good place because nobody else is using it, so it's a good place to stage fighter jets for a flyover.
Well, the Blue Angels, for example, the Navy's demonstration team, I was on active duty when I had a chance to talk to some of those guys, and basically the fuel that they use is paid for by the local authorities.
Oh, okay. So we paid for it.
Yeah.
Well, so Chicago paid for it. I saw they, so they fly the flyover. So Chicago pays for their gas. I wonder if they charge them Chicago prices or Indiana prices, because it's probably the gas is probably twice as we'll get gas in Gary. It's cheaper.
That's
even the Navy. Even the Navy's like, no, we'll get gas in Gary. We saw your prices.
We'll top off before we go.
No, I mean, yeah. So, but okay. So how are things, Walt? How are you this morning?
Well, I'm looking at an article out of the Times, November 14th, the headline, Popular Peteyville Christmas display to take year off.
Yeah, I saw that. That's unfortunate. But, I mean, it's a lot of work. I get it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, and again, that's
in Hessville?
Yeah, so that's actually, it's on, and MX lives right down the street from there. I told him, I said, that's the kind of thing you go on Facebook and go, hey, I need some help this year. You'd have 100 people would show up to help him build Peteyville. Because, I mean, that's how the region works. We'd all come together. I said, we'll come over there and help, whatever. We'll come build Peteyville. But it's a nice thing. It's one of those neat little things that happens in a neighborhood. That's like half the block.
Very impressive.
Now. It's very impressive. Yeah, it's nice that people do that. I think people that can't wait to decorate their whole neighborhood are a little strange, if you ask me, Walt. But
why were you looking?
Well, the family does.
I was just staring at you. Go ahead, Walt.
The family involved with this is Pete and Tina Basala, and their address is 2033 Crane Place in Hammond in the Hessville area, where Gene Shepard, who wrote A Christmas Story and a classic movie played at Christmas time, he also lived in that area.
Yeah, just a couple blocks away, I think.
Yep. And any case, there's some. It's disappointing that Peteyville is not going, but there's an alternative, and that is at the Hammond, Indiana Welcome Center on Kennedy Avenue, near the intersection of 8094, is the beginning of the Christmas displays. Started November 15th and goes through December 30th, and the celebration of the Christmas story. I dropped in there, and they had over 50 decorated trees, and they had stuff for kids to at a table with all kinds of papers for the kids to draw and color. And on the weekends, they have a big deal with they have like in quotes a mountain kind of thing, and Santa Claus appears, and they take pictures and for a price, and they also have times when you can bring your dog and so forth. Have you ever taken that in?
I have not. No, I don't have a dog, but no, I've heard about it. I would like to go sometime. My son when he was younger, he used to lick everything. Now that he's older, I think we're safe. He can go and pretend lick the pole, but yeah, no, I mean that sounds like fun, and I'm glad that we do that. I'm glad that we honor that tradition. It's neat. Even I forget where I was. I might have been in New Jersey, and a guy had a whole Christmas story collection. I said, I literally I come from the town that Gene Shepard, not home in, but the actual Hammond, Indiana. I came from that. But, Walt, I mean, that's sort of the thing is looking back on, like, watching that movie and obviously, the way things used to be, it's, in a way, I wish that we could go back to that in a lot of ways, sort of that the innocence of Christmas and, what you saw. I mean, obviously the Christmas Story, I think, was filmed in Cleveland, but even that whole idea of, what downtown Hammond used to be. And,
that was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, or downtown Gary or anything like that. I guess I wonder what the future will hold. because we're not, again, even like what happened in Chicago over the weekend, this idea that you take your family to a tree lighting ceremony and as you're leaving, 9 people get shot. It's like there was people shot at a Christmas event in North Carolina. It just really, it puts a damper on the season,
Well, the politicians and the media like to say that crime is down, but what they leave out is crime has spread to every part of the city.
Right.
And it's not just limited to the south side or the west side. Now it's everywhere, including the downtown area. I mean, that shooting took place right across the street from Channel 7
right on
TV
State
News.
Street, right in front of the Chicago Theater. I mean,
yes,
right
exactly.
there. But again, I mean, a lot of it, the reason crime is down is because they're not even going to the crime anymore. They're just not even, they're not even taking reports. I've heard several people in Chicago tell me that we called the police and they never came. They said, deal with it yourself.
Right.
So,
right. That's an old story in Chicago.
Yeah.
And but crime statistics are very subject to political manipulation by politicians. I mean, it's a politically sensitive issue, and when the cops are told, "Hey, there's certain kinds of crimes we're overwhelmed with crime, so just don't report certain kinds of crime."
Yeah, we're overwhelmed, but crime. We're overwhelmed, but crime is down. So
right.
So. Okay, well, hey, Walt, I appreciate the call. We got to take a break. Always nice hearing from you as well. So why don't we'll take a break. We'll reset.
Happy holidays for everybody out there.
Same to you, Walt. Thanks for calling in. So let's take a break, and we'll be back. We got a bunch of other stuff to cover, so we'll be back with more after this.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
Have you ever considered becoming an iron worker? Local 395 is now accepting applications for their apprenticeship program. Go to ironworkers395.com. Look under the training section, click on apprenticeship, and scroll down to the application. You must be 18 years old, have a high school diploma or GED, and you must be physically able to perform the work of the trade. Find out more by calling the apprenticeship school in Lake Station at 219-962-7675 or visit ironworkers395.com.
Tired of that cracked driveway? Dreaming of a new patio or need a concrete partner for your next big project? Call RNC Concrete Construction, family owned with 30 plus years serving Northwest Indiana. From residential driveways to stamped patios and commercial foundations, we pour with pride and deliver lasting quality. Call today for your free estimate at 219-779-9370. That's 219-779-9370. RNC Concrete, where your concrete vision comes to life.
Siri, read me that text.
Sorry, I can't complete your request.
You want me to read that?
No, I got it.
Construction zone.
I see it.
Watch it!
Oh.
Oh my God! You're gonna hit him!
Oh, fuck!
When driving in a construction zone, be smart, be alert, be in the zone.
This is Brian Short, business manager for the Indiana Laborers District Council. Everyone deserves a safe place to work. Do your part in the cone zone. Slow down, save lives. We're all in this together.
A message from Indiana's District Council of Laborers International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
Do you want to get a vaccine, but it's difficult to get to your healthcare provider? Call the folks at Right Care Pharmacy. They'll come to your home, discuss your vaccination status with you, and administer the appropriate vaccine with expertise. They offer vaccines for flu, shingles, pneumonia, hepatitis A and B, TDAP, RSV, and COVID. They've been serving the Lake and Porter County community for over 11 years and are fluent in Spanish. Call Right Care Pharmacy at 219-655-5028.
Introducing Powers Health, a health system with a new name and a strong legacy of caring for families in our community. One with a tradition of advanced specialized services and a vision for the future. One with a commitment to medical excellence and compassionate care. Everything we do, everything we believe, powers health.
Welcome back.
6:38 in the region. Chuck and Bob and Chuck and Lynette here with you on a Monday morning. Let's take a look at traffic. Traffic looking swell this morning. Things looking great here in the region. 80, 94, 65, Skyway Toll Road. Everything looking beautiful. Over on the Illinois side, you got just the slightest twinge of building traffic on the Bishop Ford to the Dan Ryan to downtown. You got the usual little bit of slowdown going into the circle. You know, $10 billion later, and traffic is still the way it always was. Other than that, things looking good in Illinois. Not much to report if you're heading out that way. How is the weather?
Good morning, everyone. Today we're at 38 degrees with highs of 53 and lows of 45. We'll be having some sun today, and then it should be turning cloudy, and later tonight, periods of rain. And then tomorrow and Tuesday, we'll be having highs of 53 and lows of 33 with a touch of morning rain. Otherwise, low clouds. And then Wednesday, we'll be having highs of 38 and lows of 24. Should be cloudy, windy, and colder.
Thank you so much. Bob was just pointing out the beautiful sunrise, and if you're into such things, there's one of those occurring
Nature's
out
beauty.
the window. You know, it's always, you know, like even last week, everybody's like, "Oh, Chuck, are you going to go see the Northern Lights?" I go, "No, I'll be in bed." And people are messaging me all weekend, "Chuck, are you going to go see the Santa trains coming through at 3:30 in the morning? You're going to go see the train?" Like, no, I'll be in bed. Like I'll go see the trains where they belong in the museum. But if you did get up early, tell us all about it. It's always funny because so all these people got up like at 3 in the morning to go see the train in Portage and in Hammond and Whiting, and then people were complaining in the morning. Well, the train went by too fast. It's like the one time a year you complain a train's going too fast is the Santa train, and then the rest of them, are stopped and not going anywhere. But so yeah, it's like again only in the region where people go, "Hey, get up at 3 a.m. to go see a train." Like, no, I've seen plenty in my life. Trust me, I don't need to see another one.
3 a.m. is usually when you get your emails that the South Shore is down, right?
Right. No, you usually get. I haven't checked this morning, but I usually get a batch of those. Yeah. If the South Shore would put lights on their train, they're already electric. You're already halfway there. Just decorate your trains. Maybe people wouldn't be so upset when they see them coming late. Which reminds me, I got to find out about those T-shirts. We're gonna get some South Shore T-shirts and some South Shore swag as they say. What else? So Bob and I were just talking about Christmas events. Dyer's got Christmas events. St. John, everybody's got Christmas events. Ours are coming up this weekend. St. John likes to do like a Black Friday fireworks spectacular over at Prairie West Park. So we kick off I always want to say 4th of July because we have fireworks. We kick off Christmas with a 4th of July celebration of fireworks. And then we have our my big event of the year, the Kris Kringle Market, where we sell you all kinds of handmade goods and cookies and whatnot. So come on down to St. John this weekend and get your fill for Christmas. And if you don't have enough, Dyer will have their Christmas festivities the following weekend.
Yeah, we've got we put our 80-foot Christmas tree up. I think it's going up this week. We do our on Friday, December 5th. At 6 o'clock, I believe. The fire station in Central Park. We do our tree lighting. It's a great event for the kids. Santa rolls in on a fire truck, and I believe we have cookies and hot chocolate and all sorts of things to do for the family. It's a really fun event. Who doesn't like Santa coming in on a fire truck? But my favorite holiday event that we do in the area, and if there's a caller out there that knows of another town doing this, let me know. But on Christmas Eve in Dyer at Central Park, this is the 5th or 6th year in a row that we've done it. There's no coincidence that I've been on the council 5 or 6 years. But we do a fireworks show on Christmas Eve, and that's our way of letting Santa know where Dyer is, and all the kids get excited. It's to the point now where folks are decorating with their cars with lights, and people are just walking
Which is
around
illegal,
with
by the
cars
way.
and,
Don't do it.
It's
don't tell them to do that. Like, well, the Councilman Bob told me I can do it as you get pulled over by the Dyer police.
When you show up to the fireworks on Christmas Eve in Dyer and you decorate your car, go for it. I mean,
So this is just okay. I figured you out, pal. So you got on the council just so somebody else can pay for Christmas. And then you're going to pay for it by ticketing a whole bunch of people with lights on their car. Like, here, everybody gets a $100 ticket to pay for my fireworks.
We need $4,500 in tickets.
You guys need to write 45 tickets tonight to pay for this. I'm on to you, pal.
It's not a quota,
but without government.
They're performance standards.
It's like if you guys ticket enough people tonight, you guys could take the rest of the weekend off.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun, and folks, like I said, they're starting to bring inverters and putting up inflatables and walk around with candy
so they're like
canes.
tailgating. They're having a Christmas
Yes,
tailgate.
a Christmas
okay,
tailgate.
Like that's fun. That's fun. And I'm glad to see
we have
that.
a fireworks show put on. Mad Bomber does it. Always does a great show, and because we figured there's a fun story with this, which you're going to hear now because I've got the microphone. Is when COVID started, Munster was going to have a fireworks show. But then Munster panicked because, COVID was bad, and they canceled their fireworks show. So if I remember correctly, times change. Every time you tell the fish story, it gets a little bigger. But so we contacted them. We said, hey, we'll take your New Year's Eve fireworks show, but we're going to have it on Christmas Eve. And it stuck. People liked it. And I do like the idea of making a Christmas tailgate. We did get the first year we got one resident say, hey, this should be a quiet, solemn time, and we get that. But the
and you're
kids,
like, point the fireworks over their house. Point them that way.
And we have moved it out of Pheasant Hills, where it was more residential, to Central Park, where everybody can gather. Much better parking situation. But it's just a whole lot of fun, and especially when we have it at I think it's 7:00 at night on Christmas Eve. Dinner's already done, and if you've got kids, they're not going to bed at 7:00. So what else are you going to do? Come on out to Dyer, watch fireworks.
Look, that's the one time you get to tell your kids go to bed early.
No,
otherwise, Santa's going to skip our house.
No, they're not going.
Now you're like, no, let's go out and see fireworks.
So this is our way of letting Santa know where Dyer is, and
then if you guys want to share your events, Mark chiming in says Hobart's tree lighting is Saturday.
Okay.
At 1700 Fireworks to follow at Festival Park.
13, 14, 15, 16,
yeah, 1700 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, we got some calls? Several calls.
Hey,
Several
callers.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Well, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you this morning?
Well, I'm doing fine in the spirit of Christ. So the day Christ was born. And I just want to shout out to, as Rodney King said, can we all get along? Now, some of you guys don't know who Rodney King was.
I remember it well. I remember watching all that. I think I was in middle school or high school when that happened, and that was kind of my first taste of reality, watching that footage and seeing the back end of that.
And basically what he was saying, I think they stopped him, the police stopped him, it was a chase.
Right.
They stopped him, maybe he had done something wrong, and they beat him up. And he said to his public, because there was riots after then, he said, can we all get along, meaning black, white, and everybody in America.
Yeah.
And that was a great thing.
That was it. Absolutely. We all agree. I mean, that was things that were getting out of control.
It was getting out of control. And he said to his people, and I would say to my people in the community, if there's violence, can we all get along, whether black and white and everybody? Because if we can't, it gets out of hand like it is today. George Floyd in there, maybe he did something wrong, so it started a riot in
everywhere, really. I mean, all over the country.
Well. Basically, where it comes.
In
But when he put his knee on his neck, basically what he said, I want to kill you. So again, people in the community all across America was upset about that. They were upset about that. They turned. Sometimes people turn to anger when they get upset. If you don't believe it,
so
look at the hold on. If you don't believe that the insurrection, people were upset, but they went to violence, and of course those people tried to overthrow the government. But again, Donald Trump let them out.
Okay,
so I'm just simply saying.
Right,
okay, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I get stuff happened in Minneapolis stuff, but here's the thing. I'm gonna be heading into the city in a couple hours here. Okay. Over the weekend, 9 people were shot, including a 14-year-old boy that was killed in downtown Chicago in these shootings in the Loop. Mm-hmm. Why are we not outraged today that a 14-year-old was shot at Christmas Fest? Why are we not outraged that 8 people were killed? That 8 people were shot, 1 was killed in Chicago over the weekend. A 14-year-old. I can't imagine. I have a teenage boy. I can't imagine the idea of him when he was 14 years old, living a life where he had to carry a gun, or he was in a position where he got shot. He was somewhere where he got shot. As a parent, I can't imagine that. And again, as a reporter, I met, parents of people that lost their lives in these tragic shootings. Why are we not more outraged why was a 14-year-old somewhere where he'd get shot? Was he among other 14-year-olds with guns? What is going on in our society, and how do we even begin to fix this?
Well, I think normal society is numb to it.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem dodging from what you asked me, because I think it needs to be addressed. Okay,
right.
I'm that kind of person. If it's happening in the black community, which I guess it was, and I don't know, I just got back in town, so I haven't been keeping up. But that's wrong. Okay, it's wrong, and it's wrong for anybody. But I can't stop. It doesn't happen in my community, but it happens in other communities. I'm concerned it's happening in Chicago. It's too often. I don't get on and apologize to those. Have you ever heard me apologize?
No, I'm not saying you are. And we were just talking about how Bob and I go to the Railcats game, and we always have a good time.
But I'm called out a lot of times, Chuck, about what is Matlock saying about this? Well, why are you caring about what that? Just do what you can. If you love America, just say that violence is bad. I don't care if it's the insurrection is bad. It was bad. We all know it was bad. We all know it was an unjust thing in terms of there was no stolen election. They were mad about this thing, and it's too toxic right now. It's so toxic until the president of the United States rating is down, and everybody said, "Why are you mentioning the president?" Well, his rating is down because that guy at Utah said, "Turn down the toxic." That's what he said.
He said, "Turn down the temperature. We got to turn things down."
Turn down the temperature, and that was a great thing I'm hearing coming from a Republican. Turn down. Basically, what he said that it was just too much, and I'm just saying he has to do the same thing as I. I'm not. You're a politician, Bob. So in the community, Bob, when you see this going on, you need to say if I don't care who it is, hey, this is wrong. And if somebody's gonna put somebody's knee on the neck, I don't know if it'll happen again. But I guess this guy went to jail, and I don't know how long he'll be in jail. Maybe he'll get a pardon when he put the knee on his neck. Maybe he'll get a pardon by the president of the United States. So I'm just simply saying that we allow right now. And the rating, do you believe in the rating of Donald Trump? We've never had a president like this. The rating, I think they're saying that 65% of the people in America think we're going in the wrong direction with the leadership of Donald Trump.
Well, also remember...
Am I wrong?
You're sure, you're right. All the polls are saying that. But remember, we have a Congress that traditionally has... single-digit approval ratings, yet the majority of them get reelected. Again, that's sort of the thing, is Congress has this terrible approval rating, yet 85% of them get reelected. So here, I
can assure you, next year, doing midterm elections, when your congressman run, I guarantee you there will be a clean sweep. And it was just what happened just last couple of weeks. It was clear when in deep red states, Democrats won.
You know,
and I believe they
can I redirect for a second? I want to ask you about something.
Yeah, sure.
So I heard you. I heard the clip the other day. You were talking with Jim about your time in Vietnam, and you said did you get 2 Purple Hearts? I forget.
One.
You got 1 Purple Heart?
Yes.
So again, thank you for your service. I appreciate that you went there. I was hearing a lot about this. I want to get your take on this as a former military man. I want to hear Bob. I want to hear the other callers. I want to hear everybody's take on this. One of the things that I started hearing this last week is this idea that several Democratic members of Congress are telling people in the military not to follow unconstitutional orders. Which, again, on the surface, that makes sense. If you are given orders that are unconstitutional, you should not follow them. Okay, but here's the problem.
I agree.
We agree with that. But, okay, so here's the problem. Think about who most of our military members are. A lot of them are teenagers, right? 18, 19 years old. They're young people. They don't, they just got out of basic. They don't know the ways of the world, right? They're young people just starting to learn their way. One of the things that worries me here, this idea that we have Congress people and now, a whole bunch of people saying don't follow unconstitutional orders, is can you see how that may be confusing for a lot of young people in the military, where now you've got kids in the military and you see them, they go on social media and people are telling them, their relatives, their auntie who they trust is telling them don't follow unconstitutional orders. And now they say, well, what's constitutional, what's not? Whose orders, are they telling me to do unconstitutional things? And I worry about those young people that this is going to confuse them and they're going to not follow orders. And one of the things as a military man, and I was Army Reserve, is you start screwing around with not following orders, you will face consequences really fast, right? You start disobeying orders and not listening to your command structure. People start giving, and it's not that you're trying to do something wrong. You're just confused because you go on social media and everybody's telling you, oh, well, the president's giving unconstitutional orders, and they're saying to themselves, what should I do here? They're telling me, we're doing unconstitutional things. It's going to confuse these young people in the military, and they're going to find themselves getting kicked out or worse, getting court-martialed for not following orders because they don't know what's going on. Half their social media is telling them orders are unconstitutional.
Well, you have situations where people, head departments of these heads, are being controlled by the President of the United States. If he say this, and he should leave it to them to say, are the courts to say what's constitutional.
Sure,
or unconstitutional.
Absolutely, we completely agree on that. Yes,
but apparently he doesn't do that. We all have to say that we have a president we never had before in terms of doing things almost every day in the news, doing something.
But even like what's going on in California right now, you've got law enforcement where, like, was it ICE? ICE, their commander is telling them wear a mask. The state of California is saying, no, don't wear a mask. It's illegal. Do you know what I mean? Or wear a body camera. Don't wear a body camera. So now these young people, these law enforcement, these military people are getting these mixed messages. Like, do I wear a mask? Do I not? Do I wear a badge? Do I wear a camp? And so who is the one that ultimately has to pay the price here? Is you've got these young people, these law enforcement people that want to serve their community. They find themselves in the middle of this, this tug of war in politics. They find themselves pawns in these games of politics, and they're the ones that will pay the price if they don't follow the proper orders.
Yeah. I just think right now, and I agree, we should, in terms of proper order and things, what we ought to be doing. But again, sometimes people, I go back to this, that people are worked up in America. People are really worked up. Taylor Greene, Taylor Greene out of Georgia, she said she's going to step down.
She's going to retire. So think about this. She's going to retire. I want to talk about this in the next hour. She's going to retire 2 days after her pension vests, and she's going to leave Washington $25 million richer.
Well, that's okay. What I'm saying, I don't know how that happened, but, most of those people in Washington, and it's not just to Democrats, it's a Republican too.
Right. Nancy Pelosi made several $100 million.
See, you guys seem to be fair about it, okay? But there are people in the community when they hear, oh, what about Nancy Pelosi? Well, hey, they doing the same thing.
Well, she made 10 times more money than Marjorie Taylor Greene did. She got enough money for that freezer full of ice cream. Good for her.
Maybe she was smarter in knowing how to make.
Well, she was around for for 50 years.
700 years.
But I mean,
your president of the United States right now, he's $4 billion more richer than he was when he went in there. And he ain't been in there a year.
Right.
Okay?
But so again, though, what Barack Obama made $30 million. I mean, everybody makes money. So this idea that
But I used the B in terms of Donald Trump, billions of dollars.
Okay, well, again,
$4 billion.
and Nancy made $300 million. Everybody's making.
Do your math.
Right.
Do your math.
But I mean,
do your math.
Does it make it? But here's the thing.
Okay.
Everybody there is making money. Everybody, and we'll get into this letter that she wrote where she talks about just what's really happening in Washington, because I think it's really interesting. This idea that basically in her letter, she says everybody's just going to Washington to make money. There's no plan. Everybody's going, Republican, Democrat, everybody's just going to make their money. And at least kudos to her for being honest. And kudos to her. Her pension's going to vest. She's like, I'm out of here. I got my pension, just like going to the military. I got my 4 years in. I got my, whatever. You got your 20 in.
20
you get
in.
out. I got my 20 in a day. I'm out of here. I'm going to go fishing. So kudos to her for getting out of there. But again, she's basically laying out this case that's all that's happening in Washington. Everybody's going to Washington to get rich, and then they're checking out with their millions of dollars.
Can I make a last-minute little comment here?
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna let you go. Yeah. My prediction is that Donald Trump will resign before his term ends because he can't. If he gets both those houses next year, he'll resign and go back because he's got plenty of money. He doesn't. You think he enjoys doing what he's doing, going all 24 hours a day in there? My prediction is he would do kind of like Richard Nixon did out of corruption of government. He's something. But I believe that he will serve. I hope that if he continues to serve, he do well. I want him to do well. I'm not hating on him like that. But the type of rhetoric and stuff that he's spewing is causing problems in America. With that, y'all have a great day, and I appreciate you giving me ample time to say how Matlock feels, because you're gonna hear that they're gonna call him. Where was he at where was he at when riding in California? Well, I was in America. I'm older than most of you are, and I understand how. And I didn't agree with it, but I said again, people are worked up about it, and it shouldn't go. It shouldn't reserve. I'm a student of Martin Luther King, nonviolence. Okay.
Right. No, absolutely. So,
Have a
okay,
great day.
I appreciate the call. And with that, it is 7 o'clock on the dot. We're going to do something crazy. We're going to take a break on time here on AM 1230, 104.7 FM in beautiful Hammond, Indiana.
If you're thinking of finishing your basement, installing outdoor security cameras, or your business has plans to break ground on a new project in 2024, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's best electricians. With IBEW, Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit poweringindiana.org today and ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals.
From the gas in your car to the heat in your home and the roads that you drive on, our work powers daily life. We are USW Local 71, the proud men and women of the Whiting Refinery. We're not just refinery workers. We're your friends and neighbors, raising our families here, shopping in the same stores, and cheering in the same stands. USW Local 71, powering the region because we are the region.
Are you searching for a college where you belong? Calumet College of St. Joseph wants to know you and give you the support you need to succeed. Are you worried about how you'll pay for your degree? 95% of our students receive financial aid, including scholarships and grants. Need some extra help with your classes? You'll benefit from our small class sizes, free tutoring, internship planning, faculty mentors, and so much more. Come experience our accepting, supportive college family for yourself. Schedule your campus visit and apply at ccsj.edu.
Tech Credit Union supports the essential role of union labor in building strong communities. That's why we offer hassle-free banking, financial empowerment, and a commitment to your success. Save for the future, handle life's challenges, and trust a partner that stands by hardworking union members. Tech Credit Union, the better option for you and your money. Visit techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union, supporting union families every step of the way.
At Strachan Van Til, we believe grocery shopping should be simple. Now, shopping is easier than ever with our new and improved website. Find what you need fast. Browse your favorite products, add them to your cart, and check out in just a few quick steps. Choose between convenient in-store pickup or let us handle the heavy lifting. From our shelves to your doorstep. Skip the lines, shop your way, and spend more time on what matters most. With our rewards program, enjoy incredible savings and personalized offers every time you shop. Shop online now at strachanvantil.com or download our app today.
.03 in the region. The fall of Chuck and Bob, Bob and Chuck and Lynette. We are here with you on a Monday morning talking about all the things.
All the things.
All of the things. But let's do the important thing first, which is traffic and weather. Traffic is swimming today. Traffic is going swimmingly. Not much to report here in the region. Over on the Chicago side, not much going on there. You got the usual slowdown, Bishop Ford to Dan Ryan to downtown. Other than that, things are looking fantastic on the Illinois side. How are things with weather?
Good morning, everyone. Today we're at 38 degrees with highs of 53 and lows of 45. We'll be having some sun and then should be turning cloudy with periods of rain later tonight. And then tomorrow on Tuesday, we'll be having highs of 53 and lows of 33 with a touch of morning rain, otherwise low clouds. And then Wednesday, we'll be having highs of 38 and lows of 24. Should be cloudy, windy, and colder.
Thank you so much. How long are we here today? Are we here till 8:30? Are you taking over at 8:30? Is that how this works? I get kicked out?
I think so. I think I'm going to kick you out at 8:30.
Okay.
We'll let you know soon.
So in the meantime, we still have calls. Why don't we take some calls, and then we'll get to some more news. So good morning, caller, you're on the air.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Maybe, kind of.
Maybe.
Like.
You're good. You're. It's a beautiful day. Christmas is coming. I mean, the holidays are around the corner. You're doing fine.
Well, let me say one thing that I was at Toy Story. I was for the premiere in California.
Oh, wow.
For the first. Yeah, it was very exciting.
When was that? Was that like 20 years ago now? I'm trying to remember
30.
how. 30?
95.
Wow.
95, yeah. Right. Anyways, the reason I really basically, you were talking about it, but then I was on hold for a while. But the reason that I did call is because my good friend, Fran Dupe, passed away.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
And I wanted those people who may not know that. So, yeah, she and I were very close, almost a sister I didn't have. But you can go to Hillside and find the details. But, yep. Anyway.
So I pulled it up. So Fran Dupre, 86 of Cherville, passed away. She was a retired Lake County commissioner. She passed away on Friday.
Right.
So she became the first Lake County female councilwoman and moved on to become the first female county commissioner. So, yeah, I mean, sad news, but thank you for letting us know about that.
No problem. You guys have a good day. I enjoy the holidays. You know, the older you get like in between. I enjoyed it when I was younger, when my kids were younger, and then you get to be old and you become the grandma. So then it becomes like, okay, this is it. It's good again.
Right. You get to buy all the toys and then they get to go home after the end of the day and all that good stuff.
Yeah, well, hey, now that they're older, the toys are more expensive.
Well, ain't that the truth? They're all expensive now. It's like, yeah, you guys don't. Yeah, it's like, what happened to? We'll just buy you some Hot Wheels. Like, no, I want a computer. I want an Xbox. All this stuff. So, just to add to that, the visitation for Fran Dupé will be today at Hillside Funeral Home at 8941 Kleinman in Highland. The funeral will be tomorrow at 9 a.m. at the funeral home. So, Yeah, thanks for letting us know about that. I completely missed that. But first Lake County female councilwoman and later became the first female Lake County commissioner. So condolences to the family on that. We have more calls, so let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Chuck. Condolences to Fran Dupé's family. And I remember she was the only one against Lake County income tax.
Was she really?
But,
well,
yeah.
I mean, I was, but I wasn't on the council back then. So
Yeah, she retired.
Yeah.
And then we got repay.
Mm.
And you see what happened when you got the Lake County income tax. You got a train to Chicago now.
If only we had warned them, MX. If only we had warned them.
Yeah. Well, you know, I wish Fran was still there on that boat because we wouldn't have this boondoggle train, but condolences to the family.
Yeah, absolutely.
I truthfully mean that from MX. Now, let's get to the real issues here, Chuck. How many COVID shots have you taken?
Me? I ended up taking one Johnson & Johnson to keep my job, which I was not happy about, and I'm still not happy about to this day.
It must have been super strength because in Gary, and now this is the first, you're saying how safe Gary is. Now, you got to remember, Chuck, I listen to the Rhinelander News, and if they say a place is safe, I'll go there. Now, you say Gary is safe, and this is a first in Lake County. Somebody got shot in the McDonald's.
Right, I saw that.
Okay.
We can get into that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when you get on this radio, and there's out-of-towners here, and if they say, you saying Gary is so safe, somebody's going to go into McDonald's, you're going to put somebody in harm's way. So I'm just thinking it's the COVID shot. But please tell the truth.
Okay, well let's be true. I mean, here's the thing: we are adults, just like you talk about the COVID shot. Some people got 0 shots. Some people get one every 2 weeks. You have a decision to make as an adult. So let's get into this, just so we're on the same page here. A 28-year-old Gary man was shot Saturday inside a McDonald's at 1527 West 5th Avenue. He was found in the lobby of the restaurant with a gunshot wound to his back. The shooting was the result of a robbery. He was taken to Methodist and transferred to University of Chicago for advanced care. So what I said specifically, MX, was if I was choosing, I feel safe enough taking my children to a Railcats game, as does Bob. I've taken my kids several times this year. Bob goes to a bunch of games.
Yep.
What I'm telling you is I feel safe taking my kids to a Railcats game. It's a great experience. It's a great night out. It's an inexpensive, night out. What I'm saying is, there are a lot of people that have that are just as likely to take their kids to the tree light. You take your kids to a tree lighting like in Chicago, and again, it's a great thing. They have fireworks, they have a parade. It's all kinds of fun. So this idea that if we're going to be doing like an apples to apples comparison, you take your kids to Chicago, and as you're leaving, 9 people get shot, but I guess if we're doing apple to apples, we had 9 in Chicago, 1 in Gary. So, not that either one is good, but I'm saying I feel safer taking my kids to a Railcats game than taking them to downtown Chicago, to take them to the Magnificent Mile, to put them on a train and head downtown. So you're asking me which one I would rather do. I'd rather take them to a Railcats game than go to downtown Chicago.
Chuck, slow up here.
Okay.
You went on a tangent for no reason. You didn't even understand.
Oh
what
my
I'm
gosh,
trying to
that
tell you.
never
honestly,
happens.
that was going to be the name of the show.
Chuck goes on a tangent
for no reason. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, but
You know
MX,
what?
I mean, again,
You
go
just
ahead.
wasted your time. Now, if it's so safe, you could buy a house right next to, move from St. John, buy a house right next to the Railcats, and go there all the time. When, there's a thing the old Boilermakers used to say, show me, don't tell me. So if you're very honest about how safe the Railcats is, you need to buy a house a block away from the Railcats and live there. But when you tell me, when somebody gets shot in a McDonald's, and that's a first here in Lake County, the place ain't safe. If you get on, I'm not going to mention his name. He's thank God we have him because he tells the truth. He says it's a news subscribers. I should say it. I mean, it's on the internet. Paul Goddard, $1 a month. And then you tell me how safe that place is. So show me, don't tell me, Chuck. When you move right next to the Railcat Stadium, I'll believe you. But what you're doing is you're setting up somebody to get in harm's way, and you need to stop it, okay? And there's a lot of Trump derangement syndrome on his radio that if anybody else was picking on, like, Biden, they'd be a one-trick pony or they'd be a Marsha. This Trump derangement syndrome, man, that calls in all the time, it's not good. Like I say, I listen to the Rhinelander News, and if they say this place is safe, I go there. But if I show up and find out that I'm going to get shot in McDonald's, you're not doing anybody good, Chuck. Now, I'm going to let you pass on this one.
Okay.
Otherwise,
so I'm not getting a Mimi then, is what you're saying.
No, because this is serious stuff. You getting on this radio and is very powerful in saying how a city is safe and you get shot in a Gary McDonald's. Now, let's go to my favorite subject, Peteyville. Was I mentioned?
You were not mentioned in the article, no.
8 years working over there and I wasn't mentioned?
No, you didn't get a shout
blow up.
But what did I tell you when you first said that? I mean, had he reached out and said, hey, guys, I'm having some medical issues. Can I get, 10 or 20 guys to come over and help me set this up? We would all showed up on a Saturday morning.
Chuck,
go ahead.
Look at the way you wired WJOB, and it goes on and off, on and off.
I did not wire WJOB. How dare you?
You're interrupting. You gotta let. I'm 70 years old. Okay.
Go ahead.
I hired into Inland Steel and was hanging iron before you were even born. Okay.
Yeah. What were you wiring at Inland Steel? You're hanging. You weren't hooking up Christmas lights at Inland Steel.
That Christmas tree was put up by Boilermakers. I'm a Boilermaker.
Okay, so they hung you on the crane
put
and
up
you hung up the
every
tree.
year
Okay.
until Jimmy Carter got in there and
Jimmy
said
Carter.
you can't use a lot of electricity, and they took it down. And never once did it flicker on and off. If you and Jed went over to Peteyville, that place would flicker so bad, it would probably bust my windows
bring
out.
Bob. Bob is a
They
professional
want skilled labor,
writer.
Chuck.
He knows his Christmas
Skilled
lights.
labor,
Right. I would
okay?
bring Bob with us. I would have Bob come and show us what to do.
I can't say anything about Bob, but I think I'd rather work with Bob than you.
Oh, wow.
But you just sit there, there's an old saying, fix that mess first you got down there, WJOB, you and Jed. And
I'm trying
then
to.
go down
I'm
there.
I said let's put together a meeting.
Can MX? Can we just
diagram
give
it.
this 70-year-old man, this dirt bike legend, professional, a little credit? You could see my basement and my trophies. So the second that I was let go from Peteyville, you know what? I'm skilled labor. Okay, I'm gonna tell you how this works. 4 years of apprentice school at night. I became a journeyman. Then I became a craftsman. Then I became a master craftsman. Now, when I was let go, then a lot of stuff wasn't put up. It's a lot of work, and you got to be skilled labor, okay?
Well, I don't disagree.
You know what, Chuck, just do me a favor because I always been good to you.
You have.
Start telling the truth because somebody's listening to you, and they're going to take their kids somewhere. Gary's not that safe, dude, okay? You know what? I know you want to keep this radio program, but let's not knuckle under that much. Now,
Okay.
I still love you, but let's tell the truth.
I love
okay,
you
buddy?
too, MX. Thank you for the call. Okay.
Like somebody tells the truth like MX. Goodbye.
Okay, so we told the truth. So 9 people shot in Chicago, 1 shot in Gary at the McDonald's. Okay, so there we told the truth. Next caller. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Chuck and Bob.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Bob, do me one favor.
Uh-oh.
What you got?
The next time, then call him on his baloney and stop the conversation until he tells you the truth. I'm going to quote him. Matlock, I know you're listening. Here's your quote. Quote, George Floyd, okay, maybe he did something wrong. End of quote. George Floyd, if you do a little research, was a turd for how many years? Multiple charges and convictions. But Matlock wants to go to that and then wants to go to the cop, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he said the cop, when he put his knee on George Floyd, wanted to kill him.
Yeah, he said that Derek Chauvin wanted to kill him, even though that's a police, it's a practice that is taught to police officers, etc. But again, I don't want to rehash George Floyd any more than I want to rehash the L.A. riots. I want to talk about what's happening right here, right now. And that was my point to him, is let's talk about what's happening in Chicago, where a 14-year-old was shot and killed. And what do we do about that?
But Matlock doesn't want to call out the violence and who directly is causing the violence. And Matlock, as much as he wants to bring up George Floyd and Officer Chauvin, doesn't bother touching on the aftermath of that and how they burned Minneapolis. It's funny how certain subjects he avoids and wants to kind of curtail it when it doesn't fit his narrative. Matlock, cut the crap.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the call. And again, that's why this is open phones. He has his opinion, you have yours. And like I said, my goal here is to talk about what's happening now, not what happened years ago and what is it, 92 in LA or whatever. So let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Chuck, it's Mark from Hammond.
Hey, Mark, how are you, sir? How are things?
Good. It's just, waking up, living a dream.
Fantastic.
All good.
That's the important thing.
So I pull out of my house here and look. I see all kind of flashing lights, white, yellow lights. So, hey, I got to see what's going on.
Sure, of course.
Down by the new South Shore Station, I hear on 173rd Street, there's a lot of white trucks with a lot of guys wearing white hats.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, that can't be good. Too many supervisors, not enough workers.
Right.
They got a couple.
You're down at the new South Hammond train station?
Yep.
Are they replacing the ties again? Maybe they put the wrong ties in again. Maybe they put the wrong rails in.
They already replaced the ties a couple months ago.
Yeah, no, I was there when they were doing it, when everybody was telling me I was crazy, and I was watching them replace brand new ties.
Yeah, digging up the stone and putting new ties in.
Yeah.
Well, there's a truck that just unloaded another batch of ties.
Oh.
So I would imagine
maybe they didn't like the color. Maybe they're like, those are too dark. Let's put in some lighter ties. Maybe let's we don't like those ties. That's spruce. We wanted pine. Maybe they're replacing them again.
So the first time that they replaced the ties, was that on the construction dime, or was that on our dime?
My understanding is, and Bob, help me out here. My understanding is that the contractor put in the wrong type of tie plates and straps.
Correct.
So essentially the wrong tie plates were used, which caused the grounding issue, which caused the, as I like to say, the stray voltage issue that affected the pipelines and adjacent utilities. So the contractor and the overall general contractor absorbed the $20 million or whatever it was.
Ouch.
$20 million mistake.
That's a butt pincher there.
Right.
Ouch.
Well, and again, it's funny because they originally, when they're putting it into the budget, only a government project would say, hey, budget $50 million extra just in case. But
That's the whoopsie.
Yeah, the whoopsie money.
You got to have a 10% built in,
of course.
for incidentals.
Yeah, but so my understanding is that the contractor absorbed the cost of replacing the 20-some thousand, 22 to 25,000 ties, which are now sitting in a giant pile in North Hammond.
How do you just absorb that, though? I
Right.
mean, that is quite ridiculous.
Well,
that's what I'm being told. They may have insurance for that. They may, right. I don't. Who knows? But yeah, so every single tie every single unused tie among the on the brand new 8 miles of track had to get replaced because the contractor used the wrong tie plates and straps, and so each one of them had to get replaced at a cost of about $20 to $25 million.
There's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 trucks. Every guy has their own truck. They're looking at railroad ties here, just to the south of 173rd. there's a lot of people standing around with their hands in their pocket looking.
It's definitely a government project. I'm surprised, Bob. I wondered, you know what I think they're going to do? I think they're going to have the grand opening on a Monday morning while we're on the air, so they know that I can't.
So they
be there.
know we can't go there. We will take this show on the road.
Bob, they're going to tell Bob, hey, Bob,
Right.
keep the show going until 9 o'clock this Monday. We're going to do the grand opening. We don't want Chuck to be there. So, but yeah, I mean, again, I drive by there basically every week to check in on them. Whatever. They said it should be open by now. They're pushing it to Q1 of 26. I say, we'll see.
Sometime in February is what we hear.
February-ish. So yeah, we'll see.
The income, the income that the South Shore is losing because it's not open.
Good question.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm talking like a Republican. Damn.
Okay.
All right. Who's going to be giving somebody that money for lost income?
Well, the good news is the train doesn't make any revenue. Well, no. So the interesting thing is they budgeted like 5 years of losses in the initial project. So they are planning. So remember, public transit doesn't make money, but you're right. There is revenue being lost. So that's a good question. I don't know what it's going to end up costing them for being 3 months late, but valid question. And maybe Bob can ask it next time they come to town, wanting to talk about phase 2. So, but no, valid question. And it'd be interesting to see how they justify that. But I know that the losses are budgeted for at least 5 years. So, hey, Mark, I appreciate the call. Hope things are going well with you. But no, good points.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lynette says we got to take a break. So why don't we take a break, and then we'll take some calls and talk about some other things. So we'll be back with more Fall of Chuck and Bob here on WGOP.
If you're thinking of finishing your basement, installing outdoor security cameras, or your business has plans to break ground on a new project in 2024, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's best electricians. With IBEW, Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit poweringindiana.org today and ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals.
From the gas in your car to the heat in your home and the roads that you drive on, our work powers daily life. We are USW Local 71, the proud men and women of the Whiting Refinery. We're not just refinery workers. We're your friends and neighbors, raising our families here, shopping in the same stores, and cheering in the same stands. USW Local 71, powering the region because we are the region.
Are you searching for a college where you belong? Calumet College of St. Joseph wants to know you and give you the support you need to succeed. Are you worried about how you'll pay for your degree? 95% of our students receive financial aid, including scholarships and grants. Need some extra help with your classes? You'll benefit from our small class sizes, free tutoring, internship planning, faculty mentors, and so much more. Come experience our accepting, supportive college family for yourself. Schedule your campus visit and apply at ccsj.edu.
Tech Credit Union supports the essential role of union labor in building strong communities. That's why we offer hassle-free banking, financial empowerment, and a commitment to your success. Save for the future, handle life's challenges, and trust a partner that stands by hardworking union members. Tech Credit Union, the better option for you and your money. Visit techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union, supporting union families every step of the way.
At Strachan Van Til, we believe grocery shopping should be simple. Now, shopping is easier than ever with our new and improved website. Find what you need fast. Browse your favorite products, add them to your cart, and check out in just a few quick steps. Choose between convenient in-store pickup or let us handle the heavy lifting. From our shelves to your doorstep. Skip the lines, shop your way, and spend more time on what matters most. With our rewards program, enjoy incredible savings and personalized offers every time you shop. Shop online now at strachanvantil.com or download our app today.
It's 7:26 here in the region. Beautiful Monday morning. Let's take a look at traffic and weather before we move further. Things looking good here in the region. Nothing much to report at the moment. 80, 94, 65, Skyway Toll Road, all looking good. Dan Ryan, Bishop Ford, still looking surprisingly light. So nothing much to report there. The rest of the Illinois roadways looking good as well. So you should have a fairly smooth commute. You get to listen to us. Get to listen to us while you have your smooth commute.
Easy for you to say.
Easy for me to say. How are things in the weather world, Lynette?
Good morning, everyone. Today we're at 39 degrees with highs of 53 and lows of 45. We'll be having some sun and then turning cloudy later and later tonight with some periods of rain. And then Tuesday we'll be having highs of 53 and lows of 33 with a touch of morning rain. Otherwise, low clouds. And then Wednesday we'll be having highs of 38 and lows of 24. So it'll be cloudy, windy, and colder.
Thank you so much. We've got calls. You know the number, 219-845-1100. Give us a call if you want to chime in on the day's news. Let's take the next caller. Good morning, caller. You are on the air.
What's up, you two? You two little.
And
you
we're out of
two
time.
little. What?
And we're out of time. Sorry. Next show's here.
So how's the two Carpenter Diet Wannabes doing? You guys doing all right?
I'm doing fantastic.
I
You look a little smaller.
I know smaller, but it's still with the horizontal line. So I'm really losing weight if I look somewhat smaller while wearing horizontal lines.
Like the train, I may be off the rails. So I took a week off. I was a week on. I was a week off. I'll be on again this week.
No, Chuck. This is our time. Not you. Just sit there. This is our time to talk about how it's clear on the YouTubes that I've lost 3 pounds.
Okay. I mean, clearly.
3 pounds? What, did you have like 3 pounds from your trip to England in your wallet? You left them at home?
Yeah, pretty much.
Atta boy.
How you
I'll
doing?
just give you this real quick. I saw this, I think it was in the paper, but some folks were complaining that the geniuses who run the South Shore, it turns out if you take that new extension up to Hammond on that connection, that looks like some kind of disaster that some kid put together on Christmas morning with his
Looks like
building blocks.
looks like
and that.
Roller Coaster Tycoon to me, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, what was the kid on, like Ozempic or something, or ADD, just running wild? But apparently, when you take that train and then hook up to the connection, you got to stand up there for at least 15 minutes to wait for the other train to come. So it turns out you're better just going to East Chicago or to Heckwish to catch the train.
So So let's talk about that. So
let me
go ahead.
Go ahead. I do remember this. Yeah, it's only going to cost $2 billion, but just think of the minutes we're going to save you. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm looking to save time, and I'm coming from like Michigan City or Gary or whatever, and the trip is going to be 2 hours round trip, and I can cut it to an hour 58 with the calculations these morons are doing.
By skipping a bunch of stops, yeah.
Never gonna work. Never.
So
gonna work.
so let's explain.
But I remember Dave from Gary telling us that like downtown Miller Beach, it was gonna look like Briar Ridge or Carmel, Indiana. And last time I checked, it still looks doesn't look so hot.
It's gonna be transformational. So if you are taking a non-rush hour train from the quote Dyer Munster station, you will transfer at the Hammond Gateway station, which means you will have to get off your train, walk to the platform, wait a few minutes for the other train to get there, and then continue your trip downtown.
That's in the afternoon.
Non-rush hour. Is that what I said? So non-rush hour train. So
you got to take a flight of stairs too, or something like that, right?
See, originally I thought they were going to try to do it where they were you would be somewhat parallel, and now it's like a 2-story deal. So I don't know if you have to go down the stairs or how that's going to work. They haven't let me go up there yet, so I'll take a look around.
So just think of the 250-pound women who come out of Doc's Smokehouse, eating the lettuce wraps that they don't eat, sauntering down in those Lululemons that are about to explode like a hefty bag after a weekend at Bob's house.
You know, you remind me so much. You are
that was so descriptive.
He reminds me of Gene Shepard. I mean, you literally you weave a tapestry of just bizarre nonsense.
I paint a picture you can't get out of your head, and it's going to haunt you tonight when you're going to sleep.
Right, but the reality is, in all seriousness, it's not until this train is done that everybody's going to go, wait, is this it? Is this what we're doing? And I will just die a little more inside because I spent 10 years telling you it's a bad idea.
What they ought to do? It just dawned on me. What they ought to do is build a pond by that at that train station in Hammond.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the Gateway thing, and then just put big swings off of that Gateway station.
Mm-hmm.
People can just swing and then jump and take a little dip in the water. Send the kids up there for whatever.
Well, that's what Elon Musk was going to do. That Elon Musk was going to do that with his charging stations. Is they were going to have like a drive-in and like a swimming hole, and so yeah, same idea. You got the train's running late. It's like, okay, well the train's running late, but I can go swimming while I'm waiting for the train that's never going to come. So okay, not a bad idea.
Except you'll get electrocuted once you go back.
As long as there's no more stray voltage.
Yeah, these nuts.
Okay, and with that,
all right.
Nice chatting with you. Okay, we good on calls? We got one more. Okay, good morning, caller. You're on the air. He's listening to Mad Max call. He's like, I can't believe I have to follow this guy.
Yep.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. Is it possible to talk issues of today?
I would like to. I'd like to get into issues of today instead of talking about the LA riot. So, yes.
The reason I say that, we just have to be honest with ourselves, guys. So many people in this country just love the political oligarchs. And I'll tell you why, and I'll prove it to you. It was brought up earlier in the conversation this morning as it related to the wealth accumulated by Republican outgoing Marjorie Taylor Greene. One of the callers earlier just basically poo-pooed it. This is something that is amazing to me, but I just accept it. Her net worth went from $700,000 entering politics to $25 million exiting politics
in 5 years.
In 5 years with a full pension. That's
so she's gonna
35.5%.
She's leaving Congress 2 days after her pension vests, which will give her $15,000 a year. Which, I mean, again, that $15,000 not a whole lot when you're worth $25 million, but it's better than nothing. So
let's not forget the health care.
I wanted to get into she posted this letter, and I want to get into my favorite part is the very end of this. I'm just going to read a real quick part of this. If I am cast aside by MAGA Inc. and replaced by neocons, big pharma, big tech, military-industrial war complex, foreign leaders, and the elite donor class that can't even relate to real Americans, then many common Americans will have been cast aside and replaced as well. Here comes my favorite part. There is no plan to save the world or insane 4D chess game being played. When the common American people finally realize and understand that the political industrial complex of both parties is ripping this country apart, and not one elected leader like me is able to stop Washington's machine from gradually destroying our country, and instead the reality is they, common Americans, the people, possess the real power over Washington, and I'll be here by their side. So basically she's saying the same thing that I've been saying on these airwaves for 15 years.
Right.
But I'm just that crazy libertarian.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but you beat me to it because that's how it's portrayed.
So, I mean, again, I don't blame her. Look, if and I'm going to go on record right now. If you guys send me to Congress, I will absolutely 100% insider trade every day. I will become a millionaire within the first term. And here's why. But I have and I will put that on my sign. I will say, Chuck is running for Congress to insider trade. But here's the best part. And I was thinking about this all weekend. I will come on these airwaves every Monday morning, and I will give you Congressman Chuck's insider trading tip of the week. I will tell you, buy Palantir this week. I heard some things. Right. Not only that, once I become an uber millionaire, I will have, as they say, FU money. So I will no longer have to take money from anybody. I will no longer have to participate in that. I'll say, I have enough money where I could now do what I want, and I don't have to take money from anybody, and now the real fun begins. Kind of like Elon Musk. You get to say what you want. So look, if you guys send me to Congress, I promise you not only will I insider trade, but I will share my stock tips with you every Monday morning here on WGOB.
Well, the thing is, guys, let's be honest. We had people, and I know the caller earlier, he wanted to get around to it, was going to say who are Congress people, even though everybody hates them, except my congressman, right? That's how it works.
You have a 15% approval rating and an 85% retention rating. So everybody in Congress is wrong except for my guy.
Except for my guy.
Except for my guy. He's a good one.
Admit it. During the COVID situation, I traveled, right? I listened to people. They'd take 70 COVID shots a year if you could, okay?
Right. Every 2 weeks they'd be taking one, yes.
And some of them said it on these airways.
Yeah, a booster a week.
But that's beside the point. I listened to this has nothing to do with anybody on this station. I was out of the States. I was listening to a program. This person was enamored with the way Nancy Pelosi's outfit and her mask matched. They love the oligarchs. They love the political class. I'm even seeing this locally. I'm paying attention to some of the social media locally. All I'm seeing is ribbon cutting, black tie events, suit events.
Well, yeah. Look at AOC's dress at the Met Gala, and
even locally though.
Yeah,
these people love the political class, but the people who really do it. Like, I'll give you credit, Bob. You're in there in your town. I don't know when's the last time a town councilman in Dyer got a raise.
No. When's the last time Bob came on these airwaves and said, "Look at Bob in his spectacular shirt today"?
Right. Exactly. I'm not talking local. Okay.
This is from Kohl's.
I'm wearing Kohl's today. I'm wearing Kohl's and Levi's today.
But then I hear the fighting. The conservatives from wherever. Why aren't you attacking the liberals? Why do you attack one another? And you know it's true, Bob. You know where I'm going. But I just hear recently, it's horrible that Mr. Darnell got threats. But let's bring the Democrats on the radio to talk about the threat that was put to a Republican. Why don't you bring on the Republicans? But let's talk to the Democrat to say what their feelings are. But then they don't talk about the fact that our governor has received threats. So can we concur that if the threats were coming on one way, it must be them Democrats, it must be them Republicans. Can we concur that the people that were threatening our governor were the people that were against redistricting? But no, we can't do this.
Well, okay, so let's real quick though. Let's because again, Bob's on at 8:30 with the Republican show, but I mean, even I heard, we were talking about this thing going on in Hobart.
But I wasn't talking about his show.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, like, we have created this scenario now where even I'm hearing rumors out of Hobart that the mayor and the council are being threatened because they're in favor of this data center. As you said, many Indiana senators are being threatened. The governor is being threatened. Several people were swatted. This is the new normal in politics. And again, swatting is nothing new. Swatting goes back to, I think most people understand what swatting is, but basically the idea is it started with guys playing, video games. It started off with guys were playing Call of Duty and they'd get swatted. But here's the thing. Every once in a while, there'd be a swatting call, and I think the one was in like Phoenix. The guy got swatted while he was live, on Twitch playing Call of Duty. He opened the door with a game controller in his hand. And he got killed.
Correct.
Right? I mean, and that's the thing is that swatting I don't want to say that's the goal, but in their mind, like that's kind of the goal. Is that was the original goal was get this dude shot because he beat me at Call of Duty, right? I mean, how sick is that? But now we're doing it to the political class. I know guys like I always talk about watching Tim Pool. He got swatted live on his evening show, live on YouTube. He just kept the camera and said, we're getting swatted, we're getting kicked out, but we'll just stay 10,000 people. We're just watching an empty room as he got, guys like that get swatted, every week. It doesn't matter left or right. Everybody,
but it's implied locally,
right?
That it's just them rotten Republicans. They just won't go along with these hardworking, God-fearing Democrats. It's nobody else. But like I said, if our governor gets threatened, can't you concur by their own logic that it's the other side doing the threatening. But God forbid if we found out facts. God, let's not go to facts. Let's just speculate. And if the speculation comes to the conclusion, Republican horrible, Democrat wonderful, oh God, let's talk to the ex-Lake County Democrat Party chairman and let's hear his in-depth, deep thoughts on the subject, because I'm a knucklehead. I don't know politics. I'm just a sports and business guy, which all you do is talk politics, which makes me laugh. Chuck, you say you despise sports. Well, you got the morning guy who says he doesn't like politics. Why don't you talk sports and let him talk politics?
That was the deal I made. I said, give me the mornings.
And you know what you're talking about.
You give me mornings to talk politics, and you can talk sports the rest of the day.
Right, but my point is, I don't know sports. I'm not interested in politics.
Hey, to be fair, I'll be completely honest. I watched the last 30 seconds of the Bears game. I watched the last 30 seconds of the Colts game.
Right.
And my wife made me watch the last, couple minutes of the Eagles game. So.
And here's another thing. Do you understand?
While I did Christmas lights.
It keeps being brought up on these airways. January 6th. Do you realize 1,500 of those individuals were prosecuted? Do you understand? And 80% of them were found guilty. Do you guys understand?
Right. I mean, was it like 15% of the FBI's resources were being? But here's the thing. Like, look,
we're there on that day and
so
clothes.
Well, they were there. Right. So here's the thing. There's a difference between, and I had this. I don't want to get. I mean, again, this.
I know,
if somebody broke down, if somebody was breaking down
the
doors, yeah, he was breaking and entering. But what we don't talk about is the little old lady who wandered in 2 hours later, who, didn't even know what was going on. She wandered in, wandered out, and then a SWAT team broke down her door 2 years later. We don't talk about that way.
Right. No.
But anyway.
No, we don't talk about that. And it's so funny. It's like if you guys were old enough, you wouldn't. Some of your older guys would know Paul Harvey. You would always talk about the rest of the story.
The rest of the story.
And I always feel like so much of the rest of the story is being left out.
Here's the thing, though, is because we have created, even like looking this weekend about these protests in Washington, and I was saying earlier about this idea of, telling young men and women in the military to disobey orders. Right. It's like you're telling your side of the story, but the reality is we've created a media that if they did tell you the rest of the story, you'd be like, I don't want to hear it. I'm going to move on to the other channel.
Exactly. That's what we got. Tell me what I want to hear, and God forbid if you say anything different, you must be a racist, sexist, bigot, and homophobe. And besides that, let's move on. Next caller.
Right.
That's how it works.
Right.
And the thing is, if you bring these things up, it's boring. Or I love this. We already talked about that. No, you didn't, because talk radio is so fast, the news cycle is so fast, you couldn't talk about it. I could say anything today. 3 days later, you're not going to remember what I said. That's the problem. People just say stuff, and then it's portrayed as the truth. The old saying, the truth, a lie gets halfway around the world before the truth even gets its boots on.
Right.
And that's true. Just talk. Just keep talking. Talk fast. Talk loud. Curse.
I got that covered.
You really sound tough, right? MX was talking Gary over the weekend. It's funny. Gary renamed a street, right? Malcolm X Drive, which is fine because I believe in some of the statements of Malcolm X, but people don't look at the other aspect of it. What did Malcolm X call the liberal hypocrite? He said Malcolm X called white liberals hypocrites and argued they were more dangerous to black people than outright white racists. The white liberal is his enemy. But you named a street after him, which I admit I believe in that quote. But people they're not going to look at that quote of what he stated. But if I bring it up, somehow, some way, I'm being belittling to the city of Gary, which I'm not. But the thing is, I just want the truth, both sides, and this both sides are equal stuff is nonsense. The overwhelming violence is coming from one side only. You're one of your people you love, Chuck. Who was the one that was tackled and broken rib in his front yard?
Rand Paul. I mean, Rand Paul has had his life threatened and nearly ended several times. He was there at that in the shooting at the baseball game. He was nearly stabbed one time. He was tackled in his yard by his neighbor. He's had his life threatened several times, and he had broken ribs. I think he had a hernia and all this stuff. So, I mean, again,
Scalise.
I mean,
on and on and on.
Right.
But again, That's not brought up. All we hear is, oh, poor Dan Darnell, which I don't agree with that. But the point is, talk to the Republican, not the retired Democrat incoming or formal Lake County Democrat Party chair. But let's paint the narrative. These rotten Republicans, but it's just some of us see right through it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and that's the whole point. That's why I'm here, is that there's a lot going on, and the reality is, do I have all the answers? No, but I at least want to give you the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say.
Just a portion of it. And one day, Chuck, since we're crazy, right? Mm-hmm. I know Deb, one of your callers, she was back in the day. Just look up Randy Weaver, Utah, shot and killed by FBI, how his family wound up getting a settlement that he was killed unnecessarily by our federal government. And just research why it happened. And at the time, people on these airways were, oh, he's a racist. He's a gun-toting, blah, blah, blah. But it comes out later. The family makes money because they killed his wife. They shot his son in the back. They shot at him. They were wrong. He was right. The FBI paid. How many people know that? How many people on this airway know that?
I don't want to go down the Ruby Ridge, Waco rabbit hole, but yeah, I mean, again,
government kills Americans. Government kills Americans.
Well, and again, going back to Rand Paul, that's why 10 years ago, Rand Paul, his first filibuster was, hey, I want clarification as to how you're going to be using drones on American soil. Are you going to use them against Americans? And now people are outraged that they're being used to blow up these drug boats. It's like, look, we had this conversation 10 years ago, and you guys laughed at Rand Paul.
You were considered tinfoil Chuck.
MX. Well, here I'll send Lynette. No, that's the meme of the day is tinfoil hat Chuck.
Yep.
But then when things come true years later, then you say that's old. Let's not talk about.
Well, it's hard for me because like even you guys are bringing up the train and stuff. It's like, man, we were talking about this 10 years ago. Like when they're talking about the train today.
But
like,
you were right then.
Right. But as I'm saying, it's like it's old news. Like all this stuff that's even like people were asking me. You know, it's funny because like last weekend somebody came up to me. He's like they got to release the Epstein files. I'm like, dude, I got it on my phone. Like I've had it on my phone. I have his Rolodex on my phone. I have his flight logs. Everybody had it like 5 years ago. Like they released the files. I can tell you what's in it. You know, I mean, like there's new stuff that's coming out, but I'm saying like all that stuff about the flight logs, we had that 5 years ago. Like it's old news to me. You know what I mean?
You know, and I'll get off after this, guys. But you know, this is the honest to God truth. This was my father's uncle. He retired from the FBI, so that lives almost 100. So that's, you know, you understand where I'm going. He retired from the FBI. Was a military guy, a career FBI guy. Retired from the FBI, and he went 100% libertarian. I thought he was nuts, just like so many of the people probably.
Can I tell you honestly, though? I mean, among libertarians that I meet, like in person, a lot of them are former military. Right. A lot of guys, even like on Memorial Day and Veterans Day, is, you know what they always say is like, hey, if you really want to support the veterans, stop making more of them.
Exactly.
One of my favorite quotes.
That's exactly
so,
where
I mean, that's the thing is like the guys that were there and saw it, the guys that, you know, whether you served overseas or like you said, you served in the FBI, a lot of guys come out of that like, man, you don't want to know what I saw.
I've seen too much. And you start to say, okay, you're sort of, you know what I'm saying? You're sort of shell-shocked. But now I totally understand, man. It's just to your point. You listen to all these podcasts with all these warriors, special forces guys. 99% of them are against war.
Right.
They're not pro-war.
Well, I mean, again, like you will never meet a man. And I actually, even on Veterans Day, I was talking to a guy that served in Vietnam, lost an arm in Vietnam. There's not a single guy that comes back from Vietnam or Afghanistan and said, man, I can't wait to send my grandkids to one of these.
Exactly.
Right? Nobody that's served in combat wants to see another American, wants to see another person in combat because they've seen, it's not a movie, it's not, you know, whatever. They've seen, they were there, they lived it. They don't want to see another person go through it.
You have a good day, guys.
You too, sir.
Hey,
I appreciate the call. We do have to take a break, so let's take a break. Let's reset. I want to get your take on what he was talking about with the redistricting, and I didn't talk about it a whole lot. You know, it's kind of like one of those things. If you guys want to talk about it, fine. But again, like the swatting thing, just like this, a lot of this is sort of coming back to there's a shift happening. You're swatting politicians. You're telling kids in the military don't follow orders. There's there's something happening, and I think we talk about that a little bit in the next segment. So we'll take a break. We'll be back with more Summer of Chuck, Fall of Bob.
Get the show right.
Get the something
Come
of Bob.
on.
What about Bob here on WJO?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Life's biggest challenges don't come with a warning. When legal issues arise, whether it's a car accident, personal injury, criminal charge, or representing you before municipal boards, you need a trusted advocate on your side. At Westland & Bennett, we listen first because your story matters. We provide strategic, personalized legal solutions to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Peace of mind starts with a conversation. Call 219-440-7550 today for a free consultation.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
At Strachan Van Til, we believe grocery shopping should be simple. Now, shopping is easier than ever with our new and improved website. Find what you need fast. Browse your favorite products, add them to your cart, and check out in just a few quick steps. Choose between convenient in-store pickup or let us handle the heavy lifting. From our shelves to your doorstep. Skip the lines, shop your way, and spend more time on what matters most. With our rewards program, enjoy incredible savings and personalized offers every time you shop. Shop online now at StrachanVanTil.com or download our app today.
Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana wants to make you a winner every Friday in October with our $500K Double Down giveaway. Earn entries each week to boost your chance of winning a guaranteed $50,000. Then you can choose to walk away or risk half for a shot at $100,000 in cash. Do you dare to double down? Only at Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana, just off Exit 6, I-80-94. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Siri, read me that text.
Sorry, I can't complete your request.
You want me to read that?
No, I got it.
Construction zone.
I see it.
Watch it. Oh my God. You're gonna hit him!
Oh, fuck!
When driving in a construction zone, be smart, be alert, be in the zone.
This is Brian Short, Business Manager for the Indiana Laborers District Council. Everyone deserves a safe place to work. Do your part in the cone zone. Slow down, save lives. We're all in this together.
A message from Indiana's District Council of Laborers International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
Jim on. Hey, it is 7:55 here in the region. We're here till 8:30, where the region Republicans take over because they don't have enough power already.
Are we redistricting the radio waves?
We are. Yeah, we're going to redistrict. You guys like, hey, no, we're going to...
Wait, Chuck,
okay.
What's that on the screen?
I was going to... okay, so this, if you're lucky enough to be watching online, watching on YouTube, this was I knew MX was going to make a meme about me the second that he called. But
is that a turkey in the oven on Thanksgiving Day? No, it's foil on Chuck's head.
So it's funny, it's because I remember even coming on these airwaves with Jim. He used to call me Tinfoil Hat Chuck. It's like, look, that's fine. I will own that moniker because wearing that tinfoil, it's like what was that guy? What was Johnny Carson, the Great Karnak or Sarnak or whatever? It's like, look, I we've been doing this long enough now. All of these things that are happening now, we talked about it 10 and 15 years ago. So yeah, it is, in a lot of ways, it is old news. I'm like, oh, are you guys are finally hearing about that, huh? Cool. Okay, let's talk about it. So, but again, nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'd rather you find it, better late than never, right? So, all these things that are happening, I mean, it's even to me, like I said, even this idea about what's happening this weekend, telling members of the military to disobey unconstitutional orders, all this stuff. I mean, I'm even surprised at where we're going, and I've been paying attention to this for a long time. So, I mean, to me, that is becoming a concern, because the way I look at it is, look, at the end of the day, I'm one of these guys. I just want to be left alone. I'm not playing sides here. It's like, hey, just hold it together so I can enjoy my life. Like, you guys go protest all you want, go hang out and, yell at Elon and do whatever. But now we're at that point where, you have these swatting incidents happening here in Indiana. You have people saying disobey orders, which to me, I mean, in a way, like, your next phase here is almost in a way to like destabilize our military. It was kind of ironic. And again, if I'm wrong, the number 298-4511. It's interesting because you have the No Kings protesters shouting about, we want universal basic income, we want free health care, we want free college, but we want to destabilize the military, which is the one thing in the Constitution. You want all of these things that aren't in the Constitution. You want all these things that I would say 98% of what Washington, D.C. is unconstitutional. And the one thing that they're doing, which is, having a standing military, you're like, well, we got to get rid of that. We got to get rid of the military, but then we want everything else. It's like you're getting rid of the one thing in the Constitution while shouting that everybody else is being unconstitutional. Help me understand. I'm going to take a breath. Okay, go ahead.
Hang on. We're letting oxygen refill the studio for a second after somebody talked about spending tax dollars.
So what are your thoughts? I mean, so he talked about Dan Denault and all this stuff going on 3 days. What? Go ahead. You have the floor for a few minutes.
Well, thank you.
A minute and a half. Minute and 10 seconds. Go ahead.
Look at that.
It's your turn.
I always dislike when folks get on the radio and state the obvious. Yes, swatting is horrible, especially because bad things can happen. I was hearing one of the senators that got swatted or an attempted swatting or whatever it was, that, they showed up at his house and, his wife answered the door. And it's, again, not unlike that one scenario wherever it was out west, Phoenix, out west, where, the guy just opens the door. He's holding his, Xbox controller or whatever.
He's like, what's going on? Like, what?
And he does, I mean, we had one of the state senators, I believe him and his wife were taken out of the house and detained, which just means, handcuffed in the front yard. And that's, people are going through things, and we train all of our officers very, very well, but there's still that human element where something bad could happen, all because, I don't know why these particular senators are being targeted. And it's really ignorant to say, well, these were the guys who are not going along with Trump's plan. That's an ignorant thing to say.
I mean, the timing is suspicious, though, Bob. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah, but it's only because they're on a list,
right?
I don't know. One of the last callers talked about, well, who is doing these SWAT calls? Who's doing this? I have not a clue. I mean, is it Republicans who are mad that these senators aren't, doing their job down in Indianapolis? Are they Democrats thinking that, maybe they look like a Republican?
Yeah, right.
It's,
right, and that's the whole thing. Is it could go either way, but at the end of the day, you're doing something that could potentially cause a lot of chaos and harm to people, which, again, like. To me, it almost seems like you should be facing attempted murder charges if you do that. Just saying. Like, I don't know. It feels like if you're doing this, your end game isn't just to, cause somebody some, distress to, mess up their day. You're bringing the police there with the intention of a misunderstanding happening. So,
yes.
Hey, it is 8:01 in the region. You're listening to AM 1230, 104.7 FM. In beautiful Hammond, Indiana. We're going to go till about 8:30, and then Bob and I'm going to go, and Bob's going to take the big chair and do something Republican-y. But, yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing is that this is, to me, just, again, another escalation. And every time there's a new escalation, I'm like, uh-oh, this isn't good. Even this idea about both sides pitting, our young men and women in the military saying, don't obey orders, obey, it's like this is
there is something evil about that.
Right. And so, again, you have to understand, if you haven't been there, this idea that you're a young man, you're a young woman, you're serving in the military, and you go on Facebook and your auntie who lives in San Francisco is messaging you saying, don't obey orders. You're like, what do you do? Once again, we're putting people in the middle of our political issues. We're pitting them against each other, and there are real consequences to a member of the military not following orders, disobeying orders. There are serious consequences, believe you me. And again, that's not a situation I want people put in. So,
boy, that 8 o'clock turned into 8:02:35 really fast.
Well, I wasn't going to take a break. I figure we can go a few more minutes and then take our break, and so we can go a few more minutes.
Okay.
Maybe here's what we should do. Why don't we'll take a look at traffic and weather real quick, even though it has been a pretty quiet traffic day. But
did you say the Q word?
Okay. Well, yeah. So now it's going to be.
Oh man,
okay,
our emergency first responders are so mad at you now.
No, it's a beautiful day. Things are great. Okay, so let's take a look at traffic and weather. Not a lot going on in the traffic world. Things are looking pretty solid here in Indiana. No reported backups at the moment. Even I don't know. Are we going into that holiday week where people are taking, the Dan Ryan Bishop Ford is surprisingly light. Everything in Illinois. I think this is that time of year that people start taking vacations. Maybe the schools are on break or whatever. I don't know. But this is one of those, nice travel weeks. This week, next week, going into the Christmas holiday, as long as the weather's good, it's a pleasurable commute. I wouldn't think twice about it. So let's take a look at the weather.
Good morning, everyone. Today we're at 41 degrees with highs of 53 and lows of 45. We'll be having some sun today, which should be turning cloudy, and then later tonight we'll be having periods of rain. And then tomorrow and Tuesday we'll be having highs of 53 and lows of 33 with a touch of morning rain, otherwise low clouds. And then on Wednesday, we'll be having highs of 38 and lows of 24, and it should be cloudy, windy, and colder.
Thank you so much. We got any calls?
We have a full boat.
We got a full boat.
Full boat.
You should just have a picture of a boat. You just hold up a stick that says boat.
That'd be fantastic.
Or you play a noise when you have 3 calls. Okay, so
we're gonna
let's
get
power
you
through some
boat
calls.
Horn.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Chuck and Bob.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Good. Is it the fall of Chuck and Bob because you guys trip up all those rabbit holes or what?
I was going to say it's because of the carpet mod. I don't know if you've been in here, but
Yeah.
there's like a giant, every time I come in here, there's a new piece of carpet that's out of place.
Guess what, Chuck? It's no longer my concern.
I know, it's
I'm no
not-
longer a PNW employee.
I mean,
so
I didn't want to bring
do
it
not
up.
care.
File
a lawsuit, fall and get it
trip
on
and
camera
fall.
and
Bob,
file a lawsuit.
if you trip and fall live on the air, you have witnesses. You have hundreds of witnesses watching live. Like, man, that was a tripping hazard. And so, yeah. So, Mom,
Well, I
what
wanna
are you thinking about?
Switch up subjects.
Yeah.
One, the one thing I will respond to what you guys were just talking about. So all the possibilities that you guys just discussed about who's swatting these Republican senators.
Yeah.
And I don't have any issues with Darnell or anybody else, but as the story's been unfolding, it seems kind of Jussie Smollett to me, and that's all I'm going to say.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting twist. I mean, and we did have, what did we have? A Republican, was it in Florida? You had somebody that faked a kidnapping. I'll have to look that up. But, I mean, again, we generally say Jussie Smollett, but, I mean, Republicans do it too.
Something Bob just said, too, is that the timing was interesting, which I would also agree is also Jussie Smollett-like. So
there was a former congressional staffer accused of staging a fake and self-targeted political attack involving mutilation and derogatory writing. So, I mean, again, it happens on both sides, and, there's some quirky people in politics.
Quirky people?
Quirky.
How about
just being nice.
degenerate, unethical? That is a better description.
I'm trying to be nice so I get invited to the Christmas parties.
And present company excluded, Bob, of course.
I appreciate that.
That's nice of you to say.
I appreciate that.
But, hey, I had two questions for you, Chuck. I'm kind of going to ask you to take off your Jiffy Pop hat.
Thank you. Yeah.
And put on your tech hat for a second.
Sure.
What are your thoughts, one, on the new feature on X, which shows the
Yeah.
country of origin.
Bob wanted to
And
talk
then
about
two,
that. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask you how bad this NVIDIA, finding out that they're buying their own chips to drive up demand. How bad of a scandal is that going to be, and how is it going to impact the stock market?
Okay, so let's hit the first one. Here is the thing. I don't think that this is the big own that people believe it is. And again, it's kind of a hard thing to explain, but I'll go back to just sort of my own observations of Facebook. Let me think of a way to. Okay, so here's an example. If you go on Facebook today, there are a whole bunch of Indiana pages. And on these Indiana pages, a whole bunch of people that have never set foot in Indiana share stolen photos, including photos of mine from Indiana Beach that they steal. And they share these photos and they go, oh, look, here's me in 1957 during the blizzard. And, you go back and look at their profile and they're from India. And then what's happening is the same people are running the same fake Indiana, fake Ohio, fake deck building. So there is this huge rabbit hole that you can go down. And one of the ways I discovered it was during the election, there was a bunch of Native American pages selling anti-Trump T-shirts. And I started going down the rabbit hole and clicking links. And then I found the same people also had Native Americans for Trump selling T-shirts. So this is not the own that they think it is, because even like some of the examples that people shared, they shared fans of Eric Trump out of Macedonia. Not Eric Trump's Facebook. It is a fake profile. News of Barron Trump from Macedonia. Not the real Barron Trump. Fans of Caroline Levitt from Macedonia. Not Caroline Levitt's Facebook page. Kai Trump's official commentary from Macedonia. Not her page. So this is not the own that you think it is. The idea that people are coming out and going, hey, look, we discovered that there's a whole bunch of fake Facebook, fake X accounts that are clickbait coming out of India and Macedonia. Like, this is not the own that you think it is. This is something that we've always known.
The DOD one was out of Israel.
No,
correct?
That was fake, though. That was a
was
fake
one?
picture. That was, again, and then you've got fake photos on top of everything else. But this is something that even when Elon took over, he said, like, hey, 80% of Twitter is like bots. And this is just clickbait. This is just farming. So this is nothing. Even like I was joking with somebody the other day, my Facebook profile, my Facebook is now giving me a whole bunch of videos of cats doing electrical work, which, by the way, not real, but it's clickbait. So that's my point.
Did you see the one about the ferret running lines through the? I saw that one. I was like, that's got to be AI generated.
Well, and some of those, there are people that joke like, hey, I tied a string to my cat to run it across the ceiling or something.
That's how we got stuff.
That's how we run things
the
here.
PVC here.
Yeah.
At the studio.
Well, that's what I always joked when my daughter was small. I said, hey, she's small enough. We can have her crawl through the wall or whatever, run some cables for us. But okay, so on to your next question. There was sort of this running joke about the stock market where basically not only NVIDIA, but you have this group, like basically the AI sector, where they were essentially just, and I don't know how to say the word circle, you know what? But so basically, yeah, they were just.
Well, hang on. If you say the first word, can I say the second word?
Say them out of order.
Jerk circle. Sorry.
How about we say the first word, take a break, and then say the other word? But yeah, so there was this theory that came out months and months ago that the whole AI sector, or even like this idea that everybody's buying Bitcoin and then buying NVIDIA chips to mine the Bitcoin, like this whole idea, like they were saying the entire stock, and again, like the entire stock market held its breath when NVIDIA was reporting earnings, right? I mean, this is the thing is, I don't think people appreciate what a house of cards this is, because it is not good. It is not good what's happening right now, but it's crazy how disconnected the stock market is to our government. I mean, and I was kind of a joke is like, I love watching every time Jerome Powell speaks, you can just watch the stock market just straight down 2%. So yeah, there is this house of cards, and I'm very worried about it. And if you're asking Chuck long-term, just get ready to buy the dip, because I feel like this house of cards is going to start weakening soon. And that's my prediction on this. So thoughts on that, Mott?
Well, I've been toying with this idea, and I told a friend about it. He said I was absolutely insane. But now that I'm not going to say retired because I'm not going to retire, but now that I'm of the age where I can actually pull my retirement funds out of the stock market, I thought about cashing out, paying the 20% tax or whatever, and pulling everything else out, and then holding that cash until the dip hits, and then
So here's what I would almost say. Again, I not financial advice, guys, but I'll tell you what my general game plan is in these situations is, as you see the market weakening, move more money into bonds, because bonds are generally going to weather the storm better. So, Mott, you are on the right track, but I worry about that tax hit that you're going to take. So if it was me, I would migrate that into bonds. Not all at once. I would slowly migrate out into bonds. And then, like you said, and even like years ago, I was saying, guys, like when Amazon was $80 and stuff, I remember when NVIDIA was $80, I was like, guys, like, what's it going to hurt to buy 10 or 100 shares? Like, just throw a little bit at it. But you're right. This is a good time to start thinking about divesting from the tech sector, move into something safer, and then kind of migrate back in as things recover. Again, even if you're just buying dips temporary, like even last week, we dropped 2%, migrate in and out. So again, this is why it's important to pay attention to politics, even if you're not a politics person, because you can kind of see what's happening in the market based on sort of the air, right? So you can kind of sense, and I sensed it last week, and it's getting sketchy. So yeah, if it were me, not financial advice, I'm going to probably start migrating back into bonds and just kind of see where this is going. And again, worst case scenario, you miss out on some gains, but you don't lose, right? So, I mean, that's kind of my financial advice on that. So, not financial advice. So, Mott, what were your thoughts on this idea that people are going around telling military members not to obey orders? Is that just ridiculous? I mean, it's just concerning to me that people are going around telling young people, hey, disobey orders.
The first thing I will say is the first thing that I thought of was I remember being in basic training and getting a course on, you can disobey illegal orders. So, I mean, that's taught to everyone from the first basically month they're in the military.
But what I'm saying, though, is that
two people working a story.
Yeah.
The Democrat senators, which, I was surprised to find out one of them was a former Ranger. It really did surprise me that they just stated that, not saying what illegal orders they were given.
Right.
But Trump did the same thing. He came out and said, hey, sedition is, punishable by death. Very non-specific. So, I mean, everyone else is just sort of implying what was said. It's a game. It's a freaking game.
Right. Well, I'm saying it's a game, but then ultimately you've got a bunch of 18 and 19-year-olds that are just get out of basic, and so people are telling them, oh, the commander-in-chief's giving illegal orders and unconstitutional orders, don't follow them. Like, this is really going to mess with their heads, because you cannot have a military structure where everybody's questioning. I mean, once you get to that point that everybody's questioning orders and everybody's like, I don't know who to trust anymore.
Well, one thing, Chuck, is, and I know this is going to make, Ron Matlock, go off the deep end, the deeper deep end than he's already in. But the majority of the people who are joining the military right now are probably 80% conservative. I don't know very many liberal, kids who are joining the military.
Well, but my point is, though, is you've got a lot of young people that are generally apolitical that are going and serving, but then they go on Facebook and their auntie is at all the rallies.
Do you really think they're apolitical, Chuck?
Well, I think that there are. Maybe Lynette can chime in on that. I feel like there are still a lot. Like when I was 18 and 19, I was not really paying attention to politics. It wasn't until later. So I feel like there's a lot of sort of apolitical people that they're just sort of living their lives. They get involved in the military, and now they go on social media, and everyone's telling them disobey orders. They don't know what's going on. They don't. I mean, they're not following the news. You get what I'm saying? Like, just that percentage of people that aren't following the news day to day, all they know is their auntie on Facebook is saying don't follow. They're messaging them saying don't follow orders. It's unconstitutional. Like, I'm just saying is that there are a lot of young people that don't really know what's going on, and they're getting these mixed messages about following orders, don't follow orders.
Well, it would be interesting to find out like what the perspective is of someone who's younger, but I just feel like these kids, I'm speaking for white male kids right now, they have been told they were the evil issue, of they were the problem, and that's why they've gone so hard conservative and started joining TPUSA and forming TPUSA clubs in all their schools. You know, I don't know what Hispanic kids or Asian kids or African American kids are thinking, but they have all been indoctrinated. They're all up on political
but also
information.
On the other side of it, you saw that one of the biggest groups that came out for Mamdani was younger women.
That's
like
different than the young guys.
No, but what I'm saying is, but here's the interesting thing, though, and this is where we'll talk about Lynette's love life here in the next segment, is that you have this situation where, as you said, young men are going hard right and young women are going hard left. That's going to make dating life a little difficult. You know what I mean? Like, well,
I would buy stock in cat food because a lot of those young women are going to be cat owners who drink boxed wine every night.
Well,
That's
but again, but okay. Bigger picture, though, okay, you've got a bunch of women that don't want to date men because they're conservative, and vice versa. A bunch of guys like, I'm just going to go work out and hang out with my boys because I don't want to, women are crazy liberals. So now what happens? Now nobody's getting together. Everybody's living alone. Nobody's having babies, and again, another, societal collapse. So, okay, but you know what I'm saying?
If the Black Plague was any indication, the labor market will come back, and you'll be able to demand what you want.
Or AI will take over a bunch of stuff, and then we'll have it could go either way.
AI will never be able to fix my plumbing or
no, and that's what I said last. You know what,
Mont?
It's exactly what I've been telling my son. I said, somebody needs to fix and program the robots. Somebody needs to know how to change a light switch and fix plumbing, and the robots are not going to be, fixing plumbing and light switches anytime soon. So. Completely agree on that. But hey, thanks for the call.
Guys.
Appreciate
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's take a call. And then we'll get 10 minutes to talk about Lynette's love life after we return. She said, no, we're not doing – no, we're going to –
I have never seen her run so fast out of the studio in my life.
She's like, I just saw her ghost. I saw the headset just floating in midair. Okay, we'll be back with more after this.
Introducing Powers Health, a health system with a new name and a strong legacy of caring for families in our community. One with a tradition of advanced specialized services and a vision for the future. One with a commitment to medical excellence and compassionate care. Everything we do, everything we believe, Powers Health.
Looking for a place to enjoy great food and great games? Head to Doc's Barbecue in Dyer. Indulge in Southern-style hickory smoked meats served in a fun, welcoming atmosphere. Want to catch the latest local Jet TV basketball games? Just ask and they'll have it on one of their 15 big-screen TVs. Whether you're here for the food, the fun, or the hoops, Doc's has something for everyone. Stop by Doc's Smokehouse on Calumet Avenue in Dyer, where flavor and sports come together.
Life's biggest challenges don't come with a warning. When legal issues arise, whether it's a car accident, personal injury, criminal charge, or representing you before municipal boards, you need a trusted advocate on your side. At Westland & Bennett, we listen first because your story matters. We provide strategic, personalized legal solutions to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Peace of mind starts with a conversation. Call 219-440-7550 today for a free consultation.
At Strachan Van Til, we believe grocery shopping should be simple. Now, shopping is easier than ever with our new and improved website. Find what you need fast. Browse your favorite products, add them to your cart, and check out in just a few quick steps. Choose between convenient in-store pickup or let us handle the heavy lifting. From our shelves to your doorstep. Skip the lines, shop your way, and spend more time on what matters most. With our rewards program, enjoy incredible savings and personalized offers every time you shop. Shop online now at strachanvantail.com or download our app today.
From the gas in your car to the heat in your home and the roads that you drive on, our work powers daily life. We are USW Local 71, the proud men and women of the Whiting Refinery. We're not just refinery workers. We're your friends and neighbors, raising our families here, shopping in the same stores, and cheering in the same stands. USW Local 71, powering the region because we are the region.
Eight 22 here in the region. We're here for a few more minutes. Lynette, no, put your headset on. She's like, no, I'm not even gonna put my headset on. No, you don't get. No, so here I want to ask this because I was thinking about this the other day because somebody was telling me about this. But Mott brings up this interesting point about young people. So the first question is, do you think that are a lot of young people getting interested in politics? But then also there's this interesting thing that's happening where a lot of young men are going sort of hard to the right and young women are going hard to the left. So I'm curious like how that works in the dating world if you have people that are divided politically.
Yeah. So I think nowadays either it's split 50-50. I think a lot of younger kids are either influenced by their parents or family members or they're influenced by social media.
Okay.
So, and then dating, I would rather have someone with similar views as me.
Well, and I guess that becomes the thing is that, I know people in my life, people your age and people that are older that are basically saying, I give up on dating because, there's nobody, where I live, everybody's whatever. And so like basically this idea that I'm meeting more and more younger people that are kind of like, I'm not even going to bother dating. I'm just going to stay single because there's like they're just not finding people that they agree with. And to me, as a big picture person, I'm like, that's not good if we have an entire generation that refuses to date each other and, get married and et cetera.
It's definitely a lot harder because so many people have a lot of different opinions. You're never going to find one person with all the same opinions as you, but
oh, you will. They're out there somewhere. But it's funny though. Even people post on social media, like where, what do you call like Tinder and stuff, where it's basically like here. It's not even. It used to be like here's my attributes or here's my likes. It's like here's my politics, and then oh by the way, this is how what my interests are. Mm-hmm. It's like literally like all these posts where it's like I'm this politically, like no Trumpers and this. It's like this right out of the gate. Like don't even bother if so it's funny to see how even politics have gotten into that dating world, right? I mean, because again, I think that's sort of a different thing. It's like in the old days, you'd meet somebody at the sock hop or whatever, and then you go out
at the sock hop,
and you go out.
Oh my God. That Toy Story 1 and 2 were in theaters before she was born, and you're talking sock hop?
You meet at the sock hop, you go to the malt shop, and then you talk about yourself. But now, like out of the gate, just like on online profile, somebody's whole life. I mean, there are some doozies out there. Some people writing some novels about this, like red flags galore. Like, look, nobody is going to swipe your profile with what's going on here, regardless of politics aside. So, no, it's just kind of funny because, like, that's I'm fortunate enough to have dodged the Tinder world, but I'm one of those old people that I met my wife online.
Unmute but your mic. We want to hear you laughing in there.
No, but I mean, again, like it's crazy because when you go on like Tinder or whatever, like or even like social media, like somebody, you stalk everybody you go on a date with, right? So everybody's like, you have that friend, they say, oh, I went on his Facebook and he this, and then of course somebody's like, oh, I checked online to make sure he doesn't have any felonies. Like, that's my wife now. Every time one of her friends is going on a date, she's like, can you check and see why this guy got arrested 2 years ago? Like, oh, it's cool. It was just a speed. He was doing 105 in a school zone. It's fine. So, I mean, it's funny because that's happened to my wife all the time. They're like, did he ever get arrested? Like, what was this? Those charges get dropped? Like, what's going on? So, I mean, it's like you know somebody's whole life before you even go on the first date. So it's kind of funny, you know. So, like, you go on a date, like, hey, what did you mean back in 2023 when you said this on Facebook? Like, oh, I didn't mean it. I was different back then. So, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Say so. But, I mean, again, it's just funny how you know somebody's entire life before you even go on a date with them, you know.
I mean, sometimes they slip through the cracks and you don't find out until it's too late.
Like, occasionally they slip through the cracks. I go on a date with them and then realize that there's no way this is going to work. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it goes the other way. Maybe they're just like, hey, look, we're not going to talk politics, and we're just going to talk about, you know, we're going to go on a long walk on the beach without talking about politics. I mean, even today, like, I could imagine, like, if I had, like, my wife's probably listening, if I had to start going on dates again, we'd go on a long walk on the beach. I'm like, do you know how much the debt is? Do you know how much the interest on that debt is? And she would just keep walking.
I bet you $5 right now. She's like, do it. Do it. Just try it for the radio. Find some.
This is why she knows. She knows. Like, even over the weekend, I was like, you know, I try my best. Like, there was a time she was so sick about hearing about the train. She's like, no, you are not allowed to talk about the train. You're not allowed to come through these doors and talk about the train. And if you talk about it, I'm going to leave the room. So, like, this is why I come on the radio, because my wife won't listen to this stuff anymore. She's like, I want to watch the Eagles game and talk about Christmas. We are not talking politics in this house. So, anyway, hey, so we got 2 minutes left before those crazy Republicans take over. Anybody else got any final thoughts? Do we have any phone calls?
We do not.
Oh, good. Okay, I felt bad. I was like,
B.
have to power through 10 phone calls. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, Bob, tell people what they're in store for in the next half hour.
So we're going to be next half hour is the Region Republican show. We've got a handful of Christmas events we're going to be talking about.
And your special guest, producer Lynette.
Yes, and we will
to talk about dating.
I would rather talk about Toy Story.
Then fine, it's your check, man.
Yeah.
If the Republicans are fine with that, talk about Toy Story.
We're just going to have a nice little half hour, 45 minutes or so of me chatting about a few things.
We do have something at 9, just to let you know.
So you get exactly 25 minutes.
Look at that. Okay.
You can be okay?
Nah.
I could stay if you want.
No, gosh, no.
Oh, thank you.
No, I mean,
you cannot change that graphic fast enough.
I know. That's what I've been doing show prep for the last half hour. No, I would encourage folks. Now we're gonna. I think there's one more show. You know, the first Monday every month. I am not here. We've got. I'm going
to have meeting, the Challenger Learning Center is going to come in under the guise we're going to help them raise money, but we're also going to talk about UFOs and how the moon landing was faked, which they love talking about.
We lost the tapes. But we're
restoring them though.
I won't be back on before. Friday, December 5th, and so I just want to plug one more time Dyer's tree lighting at Central Park on the evening of December 5th.
And by the way,
come out, see Santa ride on a fire truck and get some hot cocoa.
I'm going to be out for a couple of weeks sitting on a beautiful couch in New Jersey. I'm
planning something.
You are going to take the big chair.
I'm for Monday, December 22nd.
He is planning a big Disney Christmas event.
No, not a Disney Christmas, but it's going to be a Christmas show. I'm going to have
MX can come down. He loves a Christmas show.
I'm going to bring some folks in to tell some Christmas stories, read some Christmas stories. It's going to be a whole thing. I'm looking forward to it. And we'll tease that in the early weeks of December.
So stick around for that. So it'll be a Christmas hootenanny for the record books. I appreciate you listening in this morning, Bob. I always appreciate you, Lynette. I appreciate if you're having trouble. I don't know your date. If you want to do something where we can do what was that called with where the guys and the girls couldn't see each other. What was that called? The dating game? If you need to, again, I don't know your life, but if you want to do Lynette's dating game on a Monday morning, we can do. I don't know your life. Maybe you're dating somebody. Maybe you're not. I don't know. If you want to do a region dating game, it wouldn't be the first time. We did that on the afternoon show a couple times. It went horribly, but we could try it.
For those of you listening on the radio and not watching on YouTube, this is Chuck digging a hole for himself.
No, I'm saying. I mean, I think it's good radio. We want to find somebody for everybody. So, okay, Lynette, appreciate you. Thank you so much for your help as always, Bob. Appreciate you. We'll be back. Bob will be back in a few minutes, and I'll be back next week with more here on the Fall of Summer of Chuck. Fall of Bob and the Summer of Chuck.
Oh my gosh! Let's wrap this up. Please play the elevator music.